Do you have any problems with shit sticking to your fur?
No.
Then get over here and wipe my ass. Oh, He-Man. He-Man.
Skeletor.
That's a dumb name.
Huh?
He-Man. He-Man. It's like the same thing twice. Why don't you just call yourself Guy?
Uh-oh, Richard!
I say we break into the place, trash the office, and make off with the records and say it was industrial espionage.
I thought my jokes were bad.
Good evening. It's Tuesday night. I'm Tom Connors. With me is Clobby. How you doing, Clobber? And
Hey, man, thanks for the invite, buddy.
always glad to have you here. Sent the invite out to a few people, but I don't know where Mikey is. Script Doctor's not feeling the best, so I don't think he's joining us tonight. But
Oh, man.
other than that, we'll see who shows up here. But hopefully you've been good. It's been about a week or so since I've talked to you. I think something around there. How you been?
Yes, sir. Oh, not too bad, man. Not too bad at all. How about you, man? You've been busy, I'm sure.
Yeah, I just got done doing a member stream. Been busting my ass, trying to get shit done. But yeah, it's been one of those weeks, months, years, lives. You know how it is.
Oh, yeah.
Can't complain too much. Though.
Hey
But
there,
yeah, we got
friends.
some stuff to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, hail to all the people in the chat. We got Sander here who's saying hail to Clobby.
Hey, Sander.
We got Tim Hayes here. We got Silver Shroud. We got Knight of Snoke. We got Donnie Pearson. Cosmic Squirrels here. Mr. Grant Gregory's here. Yeah, well, if nobody else shows up, Grant, maybe I'll send you the link. Putin's Cat. Dragon Master's here. KR Nut. Waverly Brown is here. Welcome. We got Duck Nation. Magic Margana and Models. That's a new one. Welcome. Unless that's a new name under an old profile. Welcome to the show. We got Marks here, who I just talked to on the member stream, and so many more. Welcome to the show, guys. Please hit that like button, share out the link, let everybody know we're live. We got some Star Trek to talk about. We got some Warner Brothers news to talk about, all that good stuff. But we're going to let everybody start coming in. In the meantime, what you been up to, Clobby, over on your channel? I know you still do the Star Trek videos and stuff like that. What else you been up to?
Well, of course, we got last night had a blast with the great Lord Thoth and the great Mark D with a C, the chief engineer there, reviewing the classic Wolverine miniseries of the year of 1982. We from Chris Claremont, Frank Miller, Joe Rubenstein. We did a big review of that. I like to review a classic comic a couple times a month, for the Monday Night Mark C Comics Talk.
Yeah, the
So that
comic
was
show.
fun. Yeah, and Wednesday nights is kind of just leave it loose, whatever goes on. And this the big Trinity show with Raquel and Mark and myself on Thursday nights at the Clubhouse. But Saturday Night Star Trek, we went 63 in a row reviewing all of, Raquel and I. Then she had to go on an away mission, let's say. She had something to do this past Saturday night. But we did it. We did the show when Mark and I did it and had a little bit of fun. Everyone, of course, basically made us really feel very small because they all said, oh, you guys, no Raquel, this is no good. But they hung with us anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a toughie for me without Raquel.
Yeah, that's
I'm just kidding.
I
No, I love all you guys, though.
Me
I try
too.
to listen in when I can, and if I'm
Thank
not
you.
too busy, I let you guys know I'm in the chat. But listen a lot more than you'd probably think.
Well, she'll be back.
Good,
She's coming
good.
back this Saturday night, reviewing 4 more.
Oh, we got a new member here. It looks like we got a minimum effort puppy member out of Dwayne Oldson. Thank you so much. That means you get yourself a minimum effort puppy. So, let's see here. We got he's way up here. There he is. Minimum effort puppy.
Oh, there you go, puppy.
Yeah.
That's me. That's me on the treadmill. I'm old. Though.
Me too, in some cases. And we always love bored Corgi too.
Oh, there you go. Bored Corgi.
He's bored.
Wow.
He's so bored he barely can play with his ball. That's how bored he is.
Wow.
Oh, Nick, I think I sent
watching New Trek.
Say, Nick, I see Nick in the chat. I sent you the link, Nick. If you're not busy.
Nicholas, the man. He's got. Yes, indeed. He's been on doing a lot of shows as well. He does a Friday night comic shop show. And of course, he's got that Toxic Tuesday. He's just so toxic, those guys.
I try to hop in there when I can. Yeah, I love Toxic Tuesday. I'm definitely going to try and hop in tonight. They're talking Porkies.
Porkies. There you go. Get to some comedies. Well, if you stick to the 80s, you'll never run out of toxic.
If the trailer for that was been like, how they are now, because, lately anymore, it's like, from the studio that brought you. It's like, who gives a crap? It's like, from the director who brought you the family film A Christmas Story comes Porkies.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That's like 3 comedies in a row, huh? You got to get in and get a shoot 'em up next week, Nick. Go back to.
He's got a point there. Although I told him he should have done
or 4 comedies. Yeah.
He listens to some of my suggestions, which it's his show. I can't force him to do what he wants to do. But I was like, you should do like a whole month of Rodney Dangerfield, Caddyshack, Back to School, stuff like that. But he did Caddyshack now, and then he bounces around quite a bit. But he takes a lot of my suggestions, so I'm kind of cool
absolutely.
With that. Porkies is definitely one that has to be done. It's like.
Sure, you had to do it sooner or later, and again, you're never going to run out of fuel for that even if you just stick into the 80s there.
Yeah, why do they call her Lassie?
About maybe 8-9 years ago now, my buddy Mike from Retro Blasting and we did our top 80s movies. Oh yeah, he's great. Love him.
I miss Mike. He's been so busy and dealing with all that stuff over there, and I've been trying to get him back on the show, but
no, I hear you. Last week I told him, I said, we need to
tell him I miss him.
I will. I said, we got to do that 80s list again, because that was a long time ago. No one ever heard that. It's long enough. I hate remakes, Michael, but in this case, let's do that 80s films list again. And that was a tough list to make, man. There's so many great ones. So,
Mr. Grant Gregory's never seen Porkies. Well, it's because you watched the wrong movie. It's called Porkies. No, I'm kidding.
I can't believe you've never either.
I can't believe you haven't seen Porkies, though. That's like a rite of passage for young men to see Porkies. I had a girlfriend who almost broke up with me because I had a copy of Porkies. I shit you not. This is a true fucking story. We were in a video store one day, and we were going through movies, and I said, "Oh, Porkies, I got that one." She storms out the fucking door. I'm like, what the fuck did I do? Like, so I follow her down the street. I'm like, what the fuck is that all about? She's like, you own that fucking smut? I'm like, what? I'm like, it's Porkies. It's not like it's fucking porn.
I sat through every disgusting reel of that film.
Oh, she was so pissed about that. Just pissed that I owned a copy of Porkies. I'm like, there's no more nudity in that than there is like National Lampoon's Vacation or this or that or other movie that I mentioned that she may have had or whatever at the time. But oh boy, she was just so upset that I owned Porkies.
Well, I'm shocked you here. I don't think I ever sat through all of it. But I'm old.
God, good thing I didn't tell her I had a copy of that too at the time, Descus.
I don't think I ever sat through it all. Hard
Bodies, yeah, that's a tough one to sit all the way through.
No, I mean Porkies. I don't think I ever sat all the way through Porkies, but I'm old. You know what
really?
Yeah, I may have. I just don't remember. I know it's a very popular film.
Well, that's the thing. Porkies was like the first one of that, and then they had like Hard Bodies and all these other movies that were basically rip-offs of Porkies.
Of course.
And of all of them, Porkies was the one that was actually watchable as a film. The rest of them clearly were just made to show tits. Let's be fucking real. That's what they were made for, and that's most of them what they did. There was like the one with Johnny Depp and the one with Tom Cruise that we got out of those sex comedies, but that was about it. And then, of course, American Pie came back and did all over again in 1998. But yeah.
Well, they also exist to piss off Sissy and Ebert. So.
Yeah, which is funny because I love Siskel and Ebert. Don't get me wrong, but there's two things that they always had the worst takes on: titty movies and comedies, whatever. Yeah. And fucking horror movies. It's like, how do you guys not get this shit? Like, you listen to them talk about that shit, and they sound like SJWs. It's like, what the fuck?
They were fuddy-duddies about that stuff. And to be honest with you, I'm someone who doesn't even like any of those slasher films. I'm with them and stuff, but I think they were still sticks in the mud about it. They were all really, we used to watch them, though, at least they were fun to watch, especially when they argued.
Oh, fuck yes. I love them.
When they were pissed at each other.
Well, here's one man who is kind of the Ebert to my Siskel in some days. Mr. Mexican Iron Man, and he
Hey.
has his own theme song here. I don't know why Paulie like took it and stole it. He put his face behind it, but this is actually Mike's song. He's a Mexican, he's not a Mexican. Look out, here he comes with another big rant. Why did Paulie steal that, Mike?
I don't know. I like how like Paulie's like gonna honor me, but Paulie's like, I'm gonna honor Mexican Iron Man and his new rap song, but I'm gonna put my face on it. Tom, I have a complaint. That means that Mexican Iron Man and Midnight Suns channels are they're Mexican swapping Mexican Iron Man.
We got dancing Iron Man.
I got race swapped by my own race.
I guess so.
Wow.
We also have Nick Weiser in the back here. How you doing, Nick?
Hey, Nick.
Tom, Clawby, Mike, what's up, guys?
Hey, buddy.
I'm doing good, man. Just got home, so I'm ready to chat some about the latest going ons in the world, and then ready to get toxic later tonight. How you guys
Absolutely.
doing?
Well, I got a new
Good to
button
see
for
you.
you, Mike. In honor of Paulie stealing your rap. Here's one for you for Paulie.
Richard.
I saw that.
Wow.
I was
I love it.
that made me laugh so bad.
Wow.
Hey, Steph's out there. Look at that.
Hey, yeah, we got a lot of people filing in here. Welcome, everybody. Some new faces in the chat. From earlier.
Anyone saying hi to me? I apologize. I'm changing the batteries to my keyboard as we speak. So
Uh-oh.
hi. You know, usually I say hi to everybody in the chat stream, but
You know what? I had to go buy new batteries this week, Mike. I forgot. I ran out.
look,
of
you want to know the
batteries.
truth? I took the 2 batteries that I had out of the remote control downstairs. One of the reasons why I'm late is I couldn't get into the stream because my keyboard was working.
I figured you were just dealing with shit in the background, so I was like, he'll be here when he gets here. But hopefully, Script Doctor gets his voice back and he's feeling better soon. But thank you for.
Oh no! What happened to him?
He's I think I don't know if he's feeling under the weather or what, but he lost his voice. So
Oh, wow.
No good. Not Script. He'll be back.
He'll be back.
Yep. Excellent.
But yeah, have I ever seen Kentucky Fried Movie? Yes.
Oh,
yes, I
God.
have.
Yeah, I love it.
No,
Years
are we
ago.
talking about that one that's like that 15-minute short? The
No.
one that's like the soap opera? Oh, okay.
Well,
Oh,
it's like made up of.
Bits and pieces. Yeah, it's got a bunch of shorts.
So you
oh.
it's kind of like
Yeah,
trying to remember.
back in the 80s, used to play that at the midnight movie all the
I
time.
would say I have not seen it since like on video or HBO or something like that in the 90s.
Yeah. That one you can't cover, and Nick, the stuff in there that you would not be able to talk about even on your show, and I'm not kidding, especially the
I
end.
believe it.
Well, I saw. Okay, Nick, you're gonna have to bring up. Okay, I'm gonna if I can get it first. I don't know the image that you guys are gonna do over top of. Because, like, okay, for those who don't know, for Toxic Tuesday, whenever we go in there and do it, what Nick will do is him and I think it's Mark D who puts them together, right?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, Mark D will put the pictures together, so we have pictures to go along with what we're talking about. He kind of takes pictures of all the movie.
Yes.
Well, of
It's
course,
amazing.
you have nudity or some questionable images from time to time that you
Sure.
have to.
Oh, some of them have been edited perfectly, Tom.
Well, here's one that's edited perfectly. For those who remember the film, in the beginning of the movie, Pee-wee wakes up with some morning wood. And he instantly gets up to measure it to see if it's grown at all and all that business. But we needed to cover that up. You can't show the morning wood. You can't show Pee-wee's Pee-wee. So we had a perfect thing to cover it up. Here we go. There we go. It was great. Perfect.
Oh my!
Switched out one dick for another.
When Mark
The point
sent me
comes
this
across.
earlier-
He is so associated with cock. I don't think anybody could mistake what this is
Wow.
still trying to say without, and it makes it family friendly at the same time.
Oh my!
I don't care
Wow.
what anyone says on YouTube. Mad Mardigan is absolutely the most outstanding new Weeblo / Cub Scout intern of anyone that has a YouTube channel. I gotta tell you, he absolutely qualifies to be an intern for any channel out there. Yeah,
What I think is even better is that Mark D found the perfect image of Matt.
Are you blaming Mark D for that?
Oh, yeah, I think he did this, didn't he, Nick?
Did he really? I thought you were
Oh
kidding.
yeah, Marty did. He sent me this image earlier. He's like,
Oh, my
"So
God.
what do you think?" I'm like,
I thought you were
it's
kidding.
perfect."
No.
Oh,
Totally being real.
I'm very proud of you. First, chief engineer. It's my chief engineer, and that's my bud that does the shows with me. And he's gonna.
Well, it captures so much of Mad, right? Because it's like I'm disappointed, but I know I have to do this job.
All right. Oh my.
Because nobody else will.
Oh Lord. Oh, well done, buddy.
I gotta imagine it's the same look on his face when he picked up the penis off the ground.
Oh my. Jesus. Oh wow.
I mean, the great thing about this shot is it's actually an action shot. You can't really tell it, but he's still chewing on it.
Is Mad going to be on tonight there, Nick?
You know, I don't know where Bad Mardigan went in the world. It's like
I think he's avoiding Toxic Tuesdays.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is can't remember which 2 internet streams it was, but he was simultaneously on 2 streams promoting himself, but he was muting.
All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to piss him off. I'm going to send him the link for the show right now. Just so then he'll bitch the next time I see him. He'll be like, "You sent me the link." It was like I couldn't make it. I didn't know about it because I never tell him in advance. Like that's the thing. I've sent him links before. And yes, I do it on purpose just to be a little jerk to him. But I love him.
I'm just afraid he's going to feel intimidated because we got 4 real YouTubers on this.
Oh, don't say that.
I'm kidding, dude. I love Matt Smart again. I just do him shit.
I do too. No, we'll see what he's up to. If he's even awake, I don't know.
I'm not even monetized.
Yeah, Nick, man, we were talking about, you picking some comedies there, man.
Oh yes, and dude, when I just say I'm Porkies, I'm like, oh, you know, for this is probably gonna be the most toxic one we've done like ever. We probably won't top in terms of the ridiculousness, but we say that every time, and somehow we find a way. So
there's a bit in Kentucky Fried Movie that you cannot even talk about.
Oh, there's probably a lot of parts of it.
No, but I mean one in particular at the end.
Yeah,
you can't. Not on YouTube. You better not.
Okay. Oh, I won't. Because the only KFC movie I'm familiar with was that one that was made. That looks like it's made for like a Hallmark type of one, and involved this guy named Harlan Sanders, and it was like this buff dude playing him. It was like this romantic drama. I'm gonna look it up. It came out like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Oh God, that's it. I'm gonna look it up. KFC movie.
KFC movie.
I think it's a KFM would be
Kentucky Fried Movie.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God! I just read the title of the show.
All right,
Sarnoff and
Mario
Kilar.
Lopez. He plays Colonel Sanders.
That might be something different.
You're looking at the wrong thing.
Kentucky Fried Movie came out in the 70s.
Okay. Yeah, we're talking 2 different KFCs. I'm sorry.
It's not KFC. It's
KFM.
KFM.
If anything.
Okay.
There's no chicken. It's just Kentucky Fried Movie.
Yes.
We don't have a booty break, Snowdub, but we got a glory hole break.
As a reminder, I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so, having said that, I want me some glory hole.
So did Paulie see the slap?
Man, that is hilarious, but just not to get too sports ball on you. But Jerry Jones, you'll never win again.
Oh, you'll win if you go to a glory hole.
Oh well, yeah, but I mean, his Cowboys will never win again.
Glory hole.
The Dallas Cowboys will never win again. Sorry.
Paulie's in the chat. You want to link Paulie? I mean, you didn't act like you did earlier, so just let me know. Just DM me if you.
Nah, he's too good. He's too good for.
He might be going. Well, I don't want to bug him if he's got dinner coming up with Romy or anything like that either. So yeah. So Carlos asks, "What is the TNG cast doing now?"
Nothing.
Well, who all knows what's going on here besides me?
Yeah, I saw that. Wow, and everybody finished with their lousy, horrible second season, and they're dropping that. Jeez.
I saw it. I almost freaking died earlier.
What in the hell is? How are they getting the third season?
Do you think it may have been
third season is
planned?
not a surprise. Okay, this is.
No, I guess not.
I don't know if you saw our videos, Klobby, but we actually reported this. They filmed season 2 and 3 together because that was their deal with Amazon, and they just Amazon's just like, get it done because we don't want to. We got to get this done before Patrick Stewart dies, and we're not doing any more. So, and we also have Culture finally coming in here. How you doing?
Hey,
I had to finish up some work, just
Culture.
like Mexican Iron Man. But here I am.
Hey, how's it going? So yeah. I don't know if anybody has a screenshot of this. I know they were all over Twitter, but a large portion of the original cast of
pretty
TNG,
much all of them.
Pretty much all of them, except for thank God, not Wesley.
Not Wesley.
No Wesley. Yet, hey, who knows? He might pop up.
God,
But
please
he's
don't
pretty much
will
scared
that
about it.
into existence,
Yeah,
Cloudy.
That still can't get any worse.
Oh, don't fucking say that.
I hope he does show up.
I got a lecture. on it. Can't get worse today.
He's just gonna say Andre just got off.
Yeah, and just got a lecture. I'm not allowed to say that anymore.
Don't say that, especially when it comes to Star Trek.
Oh God. Yeah,
Well, at least it's not real Star Trek, so.
This
No,
is
it has a
this is
description
what's
on
making it worse for me, okay? Because this is my problem, Clay, and I apologize to those who've heard this rant before, but like Discovery, I can ignore Discovery, right? It doesn't fucking matter how many sporks they have in it. It doesn't fucking matter to me. It's a fake show.
Sporks.
But the problem with Picard is the same problem I have with The Last Jedi, right? And that is you have and The Force Awakens and all that shit. You have the actual characters there being destroyed on screen. You actually have Picard who literally died on screen and is now a fucking robot.
Yeah.
Right? Not to mention that I've said that of all the crap we've had gone on in all this show and all the years, the first season of Picard is single-handedly the worst thing to ever happen to Star Trek ever.
Agreed. Well,
period.
Well, it's the ultimate disease, but the worst thing
Even
never
worse
happened.
than
Was,
Into Darkness.
the worst thing never happened to them was less Moonves, but
Well, yeah, but this is even worse than Into Darkness.
he hired Jar Jar Abrams.
That's how bad this shit is. Like, okay, but yeah, we've got coming back to the fold for this season, and this is actually no real surprise. We kind of figured a lot of these people were going to be coming back anyway. Some of them were spotted on the set, so we're not surprised. We got, of course, Patrick Stewart, LeVar Burton, Michael Dorn, Jonathan Frakes, Gates McFadden, Marina Sirtis, and Brent Spiner. A third of these have already been back.
Right. I hope Worf is a Klingork.
That was going to be my big question for everybody, because really, this isn't so much a surprise, or I guess the big point of conversation for the Trekkies is what are they going to do with what are they going to do with? I'm glad. Worf, is he going to be classic Worf, or is he going to be their newer versions of Klingons? And what are they going to do to explain that one away?
Well, if he's not 25% different and thus a Klingork, then how are they going to explain that? Is he supposed to be?
Well, here's the thing: is they can do the original version. It's not like they can't.
Right.
But the problem is they've already established in Discovery what those orcs look like. Remember?
I know what they're going to do. It just dawned on me.
And I call them orcs for a reason. I did not fuck that up because they do look like orcs.
They're Klingorks.
They do look like orcs. We all call them orcs, right? So I know what they're going to do. They're gonna have some kind of time travel thing, and he's gonna look like he always did, but they're gonna explain it through some kind of time loop, something or other.
Yeah, they're gonna explain find some way, or they don't explain much anyway. So they'll probably just make him look like he did on the old show, except older, and leave it at that, and not even mess with the Klingorks. They don't even respect their own stupid continuity. Why would they respect anyone else's? So
I think you're right. We already have examples of that because for those who will recall.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a Telosian.
They showed that in the same fucking episode.
So they don't. Yeah, they don't give a crap.
They don't give a
probably,
fuck.
but because they think the fans want to see him looking, not like an orc like that, making him look like the old Worf, that's probably what they will do.
I think
but
you're
if they
right.
did this, I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't expect it to be a hybrid. That wouldn't surprise me either. But I think you're right, Klobby. What about you guys? Who wants to go next? We got Mike. You're a Trekkie fan.
Yeah, I'm hardcore. I'm telling you, what they're gonna do. They're not gonna put him in the new makeup. Well, they're gonna do one of two things. Either A, he's gonna be the Worf he always was, and he's gonna look like him. They're gonna do it through some ridiculous plot hole, time warp, time thingy majigger, alternate timeline, and somehow visit him in his universe and come back or whatever. Or they're gonna take him and put him in one of those stupid type of outfits.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna look like a Klingorg, and he's gonna play a completely different character. He'll be like an alternative version. Because if you look at what they've done with Data, the actor who's played Data, they've done that with him, where they've taken the actor and he's Data, but then not really Data, and then he's like a relative of the guy who created Data. If they're gonna do something stupid like that, what say you, Clobby?
I agree with you. That's probably what they're going to probably do with it. Yeah. I think that's what they're going to do with him. They're just going to. They're not going to make. I don't think they'll make him an orc. They're stupid, but
no, they're dumb. They're that dumb.
They might look. If I'm not anything they do that is stupid will not surprise me. How about that? But I think they're probably going to try to make him look like the old Worf. Just a hunch.
Yeah, I'm with you, Clobby. What about you, Nick?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the most well versed in Trek. I'm kind of a normie, but I'm definitely very, very, very well aware of the stigma that has been attached to this franchise since 2009 and the J.J. Abrams destruction and Alex Kurtzman destruction of it. And then I'm definitely well aware of that. So I couldn't tell you too much. Besides, from what I've seen to have gathered from many Trekkies is that. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but it seems like Star Trek was always, like, I guess you could say organically, like a progressive show. And like what new Trek, what I'm hearing from both sides of the political aisle of old Trek is that now it's regressive progressive.
That's for
and
sure.
Is that, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but that's basically what this show
is
doing now.
There's a portion of people who are going to sit there and lie to your face and tell you this is exactly what Trek needs to be because they see themselves represented now.
Yes.
But they're forgetting the fact that this representation already existed. They just don't want to watch.
For
they just
many
don't want to
years.
admit that they
I've
don't really
heard
like
that.
Star Trek. Exactly. Like,
yeah.
As far as the classic fans, though, they've pretty much lost them all. Like, there's a minimal amount left. I don't even think there's... Because that's the thing, and I brought this up the other day, and I got a lot of flack for this because I wasn't able to really give my argument nuanced enough because we had a full panel and we were moving on quickly because it was a point I was making with something else. But, like, the thing is with Star Trek fans is unlike Star Wars, like, Star Wars fans will forgive you for a little bit more than what Star Trek fans will. Like, they are much more hardcore in a sense when it comes to canon and things of that sort. Like, I even made the point that, yeah, there's even a subset of the fans that care immensely about, like, you know, everything when it comes to the ship's designs, to explanations of why there's different things in the TOS compared to TNG, which they've gone out of their way to try and do in whatever form they've done it. And you know, people took it that I was kind of making fun of those. Well, yeah, I did have some fun with the whole, like, well, you know, Mr. Shatner, if you did that. But it's true. I mean, let's be real. My point is that there is that, like,
there's that stigma, that kind of cockiness, that arrogance that we have.
Well,
I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna own it because I got in plenty of battles growing up about why Star Trek is better than Star Wars. Me being a fan of both, but more of a Trekker. Clobby knows I'm more of a Trek guy than I've ever been a Star Wars guy. And Tom, I mean, there's really not a debate to be had because those of us that are Star Trek fans, I mean, there's a few things that differentiate us. One of them is that we understand math. We can count. We're most of us turned into engineers. You know, we're not trying to have like what do you call it, a space fantasy opera. You know, I'm going to get all kinds of hate in the chat right now. I don't care.
No, but you're right. There's like, it's a kind of a separation between the geeks and the nerds, right?
Right. Tom, I am that guy that you're making. If you said someone's giving you shit about making fun, I've heard you like from years gone by, but long before I was involved in the channel, when I was just a fan, and you know, you and Andre started your coverage, and God Almighty, you guys got hammered with your coverage early on. I mean, I felt so awful for you and Andre. You guys just got pummeled and hammered, and guess what? Guess who ended up being right about all this crap?
Yep.
Tom, that was where you said I was. That's where you go.
You were, Mike.
No, not me. You were right.
Oh, I was right. I was right. Yeah. No, like, and really, like, I knew this was not going to work out well for them. Everybody knew that. I don't even have to be who I am, where I'm at, knowing what I know to have told anybody that this was a bad fucking idea from the start. Because the whole idea was, like, maybe if anything, from what I saw from this trailer, this last season might actually finally be what I said this show was supposed to be from the first place, or should have been anyway. Right. But regardless, I think Star Trek fans are checked out. I don't know if this is going to bring anybody back in. I mean, Klobby, Mike, Culture as Star Trek fans. I know Nick, you're more of
I'm going to instantly tell you
but-
that Marina Sirtis alone, between what Patrick Stewart allowed to have happen to his character, combined with Marina Sirtis saying people in Texas that are conservatives can basically die, I'm done with this. I can't even watch Next Generation at all. The reruns, I used to be like, if I channel surfed or whatever the shit, on my TV and I'd see, BBC, whatever, I would always watch anything. I can't watch any of them. I can't watch them when they were at their height of greatness. I sure as hell don't want to see them when they come back to this like cesspool of less than subpar mediocrity.
Yeah, it's I do believe there are a lot of people like feel the way that Mike do in terms of this show has been retroactively ruined for people. It is, they go back now and they can't unsee the filth that they've done, what has been done to the character of Picard, so much so that they watch it and it just now. I can compartmentalize to a point, still watch an episode.
I'm able to.
Reviewing it. I'm fine with it. Raquel does it to an extent, although she's really got it in for poopy stew.
I don't know if maybe it was my brain because it shut off somewhere in the watching of this and Discovery to where I can still separate it, man. Like I can go back to TNG and I'll soak it up. In fact, once in a while I'll end up binging on it from time to time still. But
no, I can also. We're reviewing it, so we have to, and we have to be fair. And it does not. Just because I've been going through this as a comic book fanatic of 50 years, they've been doing this to comic book universes and characters that I love way before they started doing it to the big boys, as in Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, and such. They were doing it to comic book characters that I love in the 80s and 90s, and even so, I learned how to compartmentalize it and go, well, if I read some new crap or see some new thing they do to Superman or Batman or whomever or character that I love, I go, well, that's not my version of that character. Wait, screw that. I still have my old ones in my own head canon. That stuff doesn't count to me a lick. And I have to do that with P. Hard and all that stuff too. That's not real Star Trek to me. None of the filth, nothing after 05 is real Star Trek.
No, but I totally get where you're coming from because that kind of begins where my point that I was making comes from is that it is hard to separate. I think another thing that helped me was that 09 Star Trek, I knew that was a new timeline. So to me, this show is in that timeline.
It might as well be. It could be anything it wants to be. It's not Star Trek.
That's the way I think I kind of separate it from myself. But Culture, yeah, you're the last Trekkie fan on the panel that's
man, I will never watch anything else ever again until it's handed to somebody who actually reveres the material it's sourced from. It's really easy for me to disconnect from even the TNG because of the same thing Mike was saying with Marina Sirtis and everybody else. I mean, seriously, if you really want to, to lose fans, you do exactly what these, these blasphemous asshats have been doing it for as long as they've been doing it. So, and that's fine. I mean, again, it's really easy for me to still connect with entertainment that I enjoy, and there's 100 years of entertainment out there, folks, right, that you can consume for television, film, etc. Yeah. And they can't take that away from you because most of the people that made the stuff, we're watching them die left and right now. So they don't have a chance to offend you and decide to bend the knee so they can get their next fucking job in Hollywood. Anyway.
No, that's true. Then Adam Wolford has a super chat for us here. Says it's called The Recipe for Seduction. It was a mini movie for the Lifetime Network. It was back when the KFC was doing all kinds of weird stuff with gaming. Yeah, that's that thing that you just found. Yeah,
yes, Mario Lopez.
Yes.
It was a really weird movie.
I remember that. Yes. Your Muslim uncle says, I want to know what Mike ate. He wants to know what Mike ate for breakfast.
Tacos, right?
That the asshole, aka my brother, one of my best friends, knows I didn't eat all day, and I was doing tax returns since 6:30 in the morning. So that's a cheap shot because I didn't get food until about 40 minutes ago. You know what? Be nice. Be nice. I'm here with my friends on the screen, Muslim uncle guy.
Wow. That's cruel, showing somebody an Ewok.
It's like that's what I think of when Mikey gets like revved up.
Mikey is revved up.
I am revved up. We haven't even got.
He's like an Ewok. He's cuddly and cute on the outside, but don't piss him off. He's a fucking cannibal. Like,
No.
he'll eat your ass. I will eat your ass.
Eat your ass.
What?
He's turning the Ewok.
What?
Just saying, I wouldn't fuck with him. He beat up Paulie with a lightsaber.
Well, yeah,
Yep.
but Paulie's not
Well,
exactly.
Paulie took his taco. Well, of course he will.
What?
Paulie's
That
not.
was what you said in the video. Was you said you took my taco? You
What? Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Even Skeletor's not happy about that one.
Brain hurts.
Obviously, your Muslim uncle's giving Mikey a hard time. Does he get a slap? Let's do the slap.
I
Again.
love him too much.
I still want to do the slap.
Okay.
You don't slap.
Richard.
I'll never get tired of that.
Oh.
We don't slap people in our audience.
It's a joke culture. Like, come on, that was hilarious. Who
That
doesn't
was
want to
freaking
watch
hilarious.
that like 20 times over?
Yeah, that should be anybody who super chats more than what should be the dollar amount? $500.
I don't care. Anybody gives us anything, I'll play it.
500 pesos Mexican, which is about 30 cents.
I'll play it. I'll play it now without even asking because that was hilarious.
Richard.
Wow, that might top the Thanos deck in Captain Marvel. Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe.
Great.
If you got to steal that, I understand, Nick.
Culture. Why do you still believe that this was fake? Because as Big Willie Style was walking up to him, he called him Richard.
Are you sure he wasn't calling for security and the guy's name was Richard?
Tom.
I don't know.
We're not having that discussion tonight.
I don't know. What we are going to talk about is Warner Brothers, though.
I want to have that discussion.
Fucking house is getting cleaned the fuck out.
We got good news coming down. And what Warner Brothers? I've been waiting for this for.
Let's start with this one first. Like, this is the guy that nobody gives a shit about.
Frossel.
Yeah, Frossel. Okay, so HBO Max chief Andy Frossel exit. This isn't duh because he's done for. Let's see if this is robot voice.
HBO Max chief Andy Frossel exits Warner.
Fuck that. HBO executive vice president and general manager Andy Forssell is leaving Warner Media ahead of the close of the company's merger with Discovery, which is now eyed as early as Friday. Variety has learned. News of Forsell's exit follows two of the notable colleagues, Warner CEO Jason Kilar and Network Group Chairman and CEO Ann Sarnoff, which we're going to get to real shortly here.
Bye,
Variety has
Felicia.
previously reported insiders first thought the transaction between Discovery and Warner Media's current owner AT&T would be formally completed on April 11th, leading to the creation of a new company, Warner Brothers Discovery. Two sources with knowledge of the situation, however, say the merger is now expected to finalize by the end of the week. Current Discovery CEO David Zaslav will serve as president and CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery. That means there's at least one or two more people we're going to hear on their way out the door, I bet. Named to the position in May 2019, Forssell led the HBO Max operating business unit at Warner Media, reporting directly to Kilar. Forssell and his team were responsible for product marketing, consumer engagement, and operations of HBO Max, including the HBO Max ad-supported version and the platform's international rollout, which kicked off in markets across Latin America and the Caribbean in summer of 2021, followed by its first European launches in the Nordics and Spain last fall. So yeah, I don't know is there anything else that's in here that's worth a shit culture that we should know about, or
no, I mean you've already covered everybody's exit, so
and I think here's one thing he says. He goes, "We could be louder," Forssell said of this success, which is one of the many reasons why I love getting to do what I do. Ann and Andy are humble. I'm humble. And sometimes it takes a little bit of nudge to get us to lean in and ring that bell. Well, there you go. There's his response. To which HBO Max has been arguably a success for the most part. So I think part of the reason him and Kilar are leaving more so is their job's done. And they got to turn it over to a new guy who's going to take it to the next level. So yeah, culture, let's start with you on that. What's your take on that aspect of it?
Oh no, I mean, these are just the first dominoes to fall. The Deadline article talks about, the accomplishments of of Kilar and everything else. And there really isn't a lot to say about Ann Sarnoff's tenure in the 3 years that she was the head of studios and networks chief. But when it comes to Forcell, I mean, there's these people are all a dime a dozen. I mean, if you're going to watch massive contraction on the Warner side of things because they're not Zaslav's people. So you're going to see people moving around from the Discovery side of thing over to more of the Warner stuff. And again, we were talking about it earlier today. You're going to see Zaslav move his operations, everything he's doing, over to the Warner lot. That's where he's going to do business from. So,
all right. What about you, Nick? Anything to say about this exit?
Well, nothing much too different from what Culture said. I do feel like this is just gonna be the beginning of what's to come. We're gonna see a lot of names go, and I wonder what's gonna become of a lot of the franchises going forward. Hopefully, they'll actually keep like stuff like The Matrix done and realize because someone always says, "Oh, let's just try bringing it back again." And as far as like the DC stuff, I mean. I'm looking forward to Blue Beetle, but that's about it. But I'm curious to see what could become because I don't really know the personnel involved with Discovery. But I would like to think that someone there is going to actually try to prioritize, good films.
Blue Beetle just got hit with a strange casting announcement that kind of like set me back.
Really?
I don't remember who it was. It came out just a few days ago. I'll try to find the story, but I want to enjoy Blue Beetle. I mean, I really like the kid that they have that's the actor.
Yeah,
I
do too. Yeah.
I think he's going to be amazing. But again, I mean, I don't remember what it was. I'll try to figure out who it was that set me off for a minute.
Do it. That's all I got there. Like I said, I'm just curious to see how a lot of people are going to go, and I'm very, not that I care about the Snyderverse, but I love seeing this. I love seeing the story play out. It's like watching a documentary play out in real time. So
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's also been like a roller coaster for the fans because Zaslav reportedly likes the Snyderverse.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hey,
I'll just have my extra butter popcorn and watch and be on standby.
What about you, Klobby? What's your take on it? Welcome, Grant.
Hey, Grant. I mean, I don't know much about that guy that you're reading about there, but if anything bad happening to Warner, I'm okay with because I hate everything about all. I hate the Snyderverse.
All right.
Even though I love my boy Mike. Even though I love my boy Mike.
Well, Mike. I guess that leaves you from this aspect, and then we'll jump to Grant because he may not be completely up to speed on what we're talking about, but I think he was listening. But yeah,
I am a hardcore Snyderverse fan. I was part of the movement to bring his artistic vision to life. Who said that?
Mike, you're not going to make me dislike you no matter what you say, dude. You're trying, but
did someone talking smack behind when I didn't see the thing move? That better not be Nick because I love Nick too much.
Nick.
It was me, Austin.
I'll take the blame. Nobody hates Snyder. Nobody hates Snyder more than me, so I'll take the blame for Nick. Good.
Oh boy.
All right, so I regard today's announcement as positive news. I'm looking forward to changes at Warner Brothers and optimistically embracing any possible return to anything that Snyder does or has done.
Well, there you go.
Grant, how about you?
I don't think anything's going to happen. I mean, I know he's a big fan of it all, but I think this whole merger and everything's shifting them in a new direction, and I think that's what they'll do. So I think the Snyderverse is officially dead.
Well, speaking of new directions, and somebody who was one of the key people in getting the Snyderverse to come back, at least for the Justice League, is Kilar. And he also is set to exit. This one is more expected, though. This was one that we talked about before. He actually semi-left, and then they must have asked him to stick around until this all was done and over with, because he did do so. Warner Media CEO Jason Kilar announced on Tuesday that he is stepping down ahead of the completion of Discovery's acquisition of the currently AT&T owned company, which is expected to occur on April 11th, while Kilar's exit from Warner Media upon the completion of the merger had been expected ever since the transaction was first announced, as I just said, by AT&T and Discovery last spring. This marks the exec's formalization of the plan. And Discovery, why do I keep saying Disney? Chief David Zaslav prepares to run the combined company, Warner Brothers Discovery. Kilar told Variety following the announcement that he does not have any grand proclamation to make about what he plans on doing next year, but he has no intention of retiring. With the pending transaction with Discovery nearing close, now is the right time to share with each of you that I will be departing this amazing company, Kilar said in a memo sent to Warner's media staff. There are many feelings one could have in a moment like this, but for me, there are none bigger or more lasting than the feelings of gratitude and love that I have for this team, this company, and this mission. I have never been more fulfilled professionally. I've never been happier professionally. This team and what we built together are the reasons for that. We're leading the industry creatively. We've elevated technology, product, and design to the highest levels in the company. We're operating as one team proudly and successfully, going direct to customers across the globe. It has been deeply gratifying to lean into the future alongside each of you and do so with conviction. Kilar was brought on as CEO of Warner Brothers in April 2020, just as it was preparing to launch its streaming service HBO Max. It wasn't Kilar's first OTT rodeo, as he was named CEO of Hulu shortly after the 2007 launch, and over the next 5 years built it into a worthy Netflix competitor. Since coming aboard, Warner Media Kilar, who founded YouTube competitor Vessel, which was solid and dissolved into Verizon Communications in October 2016, rocked the boat with extensive executive shuffling and layoffs as the company tried to reorient itself to fit a more streaming-centric future, with AT&T CEO John Stankey openly praising Kilar's strategic focus. Then, amid months of struggle or film exhibitors due to the pandemic-related theater closures, he unveiled a plan in December 2020 to release every film from Warner Brothers' 2021 theatrical slate simultaneously on HBO Max, free of charge to subscribers, a move that sent shockwaves across the industry. I'm sitting here at my office on the lot night, and so I'll be here tomorrow and the next day, Kilar told Variety Tuesday, just hours after announcing his exit to the staff. So in terms of the reflection, I haven't really given myself the luxury of time yet to do that. But boy, there's a lot of pride and there's a lot of smiles on my end, just because we've really tried to make every single minute count in terms of the hard work that this team has done in the last 2+ years. And that means in changing company that has been a wholesaling business to really make it a direct consumer global business. That was a real lift. Let's see here. I don't know if do we really need to go into more of this? Or?
No, not really. I mean, he just basically outlines his time. I mean, all these are like the obituaries. Every time you leave a company like this, you get a chance to make your statement. Then you get all the glowing pre-written PR baloney sausage that helps you get your next job printed in one of the trade rags, or all the trade rags if you're important enough.
No, this is basically the killer, the hired assassin saying the job's done.
Yeah.
I'm going to go home and wash my hands now.
Yeah, and somebody else is going to hire him. I mean, we were talking about that earlier, Tom. Somebody else is going to grab him and bring him in to slim down their disaster of a company. So we'll see.
He might go back to doing stuff with DreamWorks and that, 'cause I know he's still on the board.
Yeah, there's been some shaking up going on over there.
They're having trouble too. I mean, again, you have to remember, well, it wasn't a great transition for DreamWorks, back a little ways, and they've still been struggling and taking on water.
Well,
I guess
Universal owns them now, right?
Yeah, and I think that we'll have to see what happens, but I think you're right. I think it's Universal, but it wasn't the best transition, their last move. So we'll just see. I like I said, he definitely could work out over there. I just hope that I just hope wherever he goes, he actually gets a chance to do the job he was hired for. Because, he basically was only about 1/4 of the way through what he was working on there. So,
I think he'd gone to the extent now that he could go with it. I think that the reason they brought in Zaslav is they knew that they had to go to that next level. To me, that honestly, that's bringing Zaslav in and doing what they're doing here is a sign that, yeah, we need to keep doing what we were doing, only more. Right?
Well, whatever they were doing, they didn't think they were doing well enough because they merged with another company. But I get where you're coming.
I mean, like, as far as like, we need to change this, what we're doing here. Like, he went the first step of, thinning things down a little bit, getting HBO Max going, that kind of stuff. Now he's at the end of what he can do for these guys. And that's, I feel like he keeps saying mission accomplished in so many words, right? And he said he was going to be out as soon as this merger went through a year ago. Like they just pointed out, we pointed that out earlier. So he's known he was going to leave. So that's what I've said. Like, this sounds like he's done his job. He knew what he was going to do, and I'm sure he's got something else set up in the background. He's just not going to say what it is yet.
Right.
But
no,
yeah.
I understand. And you're probably not wrong, but you also had at that time Zaslav saying, well, that's not necessarily true. We're going to try to keep, Jason around because, he's a good soldier, blah, 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 blah. But that's normal stuff too.
I think that he meant just for the year.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
But no, like, I think the one that's more hilarious, I guess, or whatever word you want to put it.
Oh, I know who you're going to talk about.
All right, unless anybody else wants to say anything about Kilar, we're going to jump on this one next. But let's give everybody a chance to shout out on Kilar at all if they want to talk about that. Mikey or Nick or Clobby?
No, I'm good. I don't know.
I'm good. What was said, I agree with, and was said better than I could. So,
okay, here's the big one. Miss Sarnoff is out the door as Warner Discovery merger nearing close.
Wow.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Felicia.
Warner Media Studios and Networks Group Chairman and CEO Ann Sarnoff is leaving her post as company prepares to complete. This is the same fucking shit we just read. I'm going to say these are all going to be pretty much the same.
Yep.
But let's be real. This is the one where...
can I ask a question? Does the article say which Hollywood recovery program she's going to enroll into, or
she'll bounce back? She'll end up over at Paramount or something like that.
Yeah, she's going to go to something that's equally dead inside creatively.
Yeah,
let her go destroy another, TV network.
Basically,
she's yeah. You can't just blame her, but I understand the sentiment and behind wanting to just blame her.
No. But what I'm saying here is, okay, who's next? Because you've got two big names that I'm going to give you right now.
Oh, you already know that one of them's 100% right.
Toby Emmerich?
Yeah.
Walter Hamada.
I was going to say Hamada.
Yeah. You're not wrong there. Yeah, you had them both. Those definitely they're out of there. It's going to be great.
Get Toby the fuck out of there.
Yeah, Emmerich's
been there too goddamn long.
And he's not
Toby Emmerich's like in his 60s now, though.
No, here's the thing. I got a love-hate thing with the guy. Actually, I don't know him, but I've talked to him before. Long story short, he stole his idea for Frequency. And he worked for New Line at the time. And he basically built his career on that. And he somehow, some way managed to be the head of Warner Brothers. There's about a half a dozen other guys who deserve that place more than he did. That did a lot more for both Warner and New Line, and I don't know why the fuck they got Toby. And as you've seen over the last, I don't know what, he's run the company for 16 years now, Culture, something like that.
Oh, it's been a long time. I think 14. I think you're close.
Something like there. Yeah, you've seen how bad they've done.
Yeah.
The only real true success that you can say that Warner Brothers has had in the last decade and a half has been maybe, if you count the Dark Knight trilogy, and was that even in that span?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I'm
been there for a while, so yeah.
I'm heartbroken at the news that you're telling me that somebody in Hollywood would steal someone else's idea.
That never happens.
Well, I mean, you end up getting sued as well, so
that's okay.
It was someone Perlman. That's all I remember.
Perlmutter?
Sorry, I'm trying to remember the name. Who sued him?
Was it Ike Perlmutter?
No, it was a
No, it was a writer. It was
I was like,
wow,
an agent.
executive on executive crime.
Yeah.
That would have been fun. I believe you, but
no, that's how Robert Shea would play games. He's like, all right, you fucked me this time, I'll fuck you next time.
Robert Shea is a boss. I don't care what anybody says. That dude is a boss.
Oh, he's awesome. But yeah, no, Sarnoff, it needs to go. She's not built for Warner. Warner, and we were talking about this earlier on your show, Culture. Warner has the opportunity now with Zaslav as this guy, from what I've heard about him personally and a few other things, that if he's going to do what he says he's going to do, and if he's actually going to make the company representative of what he's done thus far in his past work and as who he is as a person, the company could become, and I said it earlier and I'm going to stand by it, it could actually rival Disney.
Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. As a matter of fact, under the current direction that NBC Universal Comcast is going, they could also get to a point where they are going to rival Disney, because Disney is essentially doing everything they can to walk backwards. But anyway, sorry. Get upset.
No, so like if Zaslav plays his cards right, he actually brings this company back. It's not really near the brink, but it's not nearly as shiny as
it's not Paramount.
No, it's not nearly as bad as Paramount is right now. But
I want good movies. I want good studios. I want them to make entertainment and not political soliloquies.
Well, I don't know. I don't mind if there's like a movie with like political themes, you know, because sometimes there are stories like that have. I'd say there's a difference between political themes and a full-on political like lecture of a movie.
Yeah,
but I would like for the actors and the studios to just not engage with fans over bullshit all the time and the endless virtue signaling. I don't know, like it feels like it's become like a fetish and they can't just go a day without it. Like it reminds me of Critical Drinker's video that he put out recently where he says the end of the movie star, like we used to have that. It was almost like we had like a wall that was separate between the regular common man and the celebrity. But now that celebrities have Twitter, they can just say whatever they want unscripted. And now you see what they say unscripted. And it's just like, wow, this does not help anything like at all. It ruins so many images of so many actors. And it's like, and obviously in an ideal world, we're trying to, separate art from artists, but some of these people, I feel like they try to cross that line to like get you to not want to watch them or talk about them anymore. It's just like, wow, how am I going to support you when that's how you feel about me?
Well, we just got done talking about that, Nick, about Star Trek, right? We talked about
and that's an extension of that. That's an extension of that.
Well, I was just going to say, I wish Script Doctor was here because he brings this up all the time, and as do I. But Willie B. Mayer, the producer in Hollywood, he said the last movie star is Will Smith. Isn't it so poignant that the slap heard across the world last week was Will Smith?
That's unbelievable, right?
I mean, it is. It really did signify that. This whole illusion of the movie star is dead. Yeah. It's gone. Kind of like how the illusion of the rock star died. It just kind of died away after a while. We've kind of gotten to that point where even rock stars aren't as shiny as they used to be, right?
Yeah. No, because they dude, I mean, come on. I mean, you had Neil Young, Joni Mitchell, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. You had all these people try to virtue signal, but really didn't even have control of their catalog because they sold out decades ago. It's unbelievable.
And then Nikki D actually brought, and I didn't see you actually bring this up before I already talked about it, but yeah, do we think Zaslav will have more control to make meaningful change to the studio than Chapek does at Disney? I think Zaslav, and that was kind of the point I was getting to, he won't put up with the resistance that Chapek has. Yeah. He will just simply cut some throats.
That's always been his thing. His biggest strength is his biggest weakness. He does not capitulate.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I definitely think when it comes to Chapek, absolutely he'll be able to do more.
Yeah, and I made a very graphic analogy about Zaslav earlier, but it's true. Like, he is not afraid to kill his own baby.
Yeah.
If it's not working. He was the guy who was responsible for making Discovery what it was the first time around, and then when their networks started falling off, he was the one who revamped them all without thinking twice. Yeah. And to a lot of resistance from some people, but it worked out for a lot of those channels and shows in a lot of ways for the better. So you can't argue with his results. And if he does that on a much larger scale on a company the size of Warner Brothers, oh fuck, you're going to see some changes over at Warner, like that's going to make Chapek look even worse. I hope Chapek takes some notes if that's the case, because that's what he needs to do over at Disney. Or these things are not going to change. Chapek started to do some of that stuff there, but now we're kind of waiting to see what's going to happen next, right? Zaslav, I know what's going to happen next. Warner Brothers is going to change. I can't speak to the Snyderverse thing because I've heard so many different things on that, and I don't think we will know until Zaslav is in control. I mean, he technically has been running things behind the scenes, but he will be officially in control as of Friday, according to what we've been reading.
Oh,
so
next week, next week it'll be whether it be this Friday or sometime in the middle of the week next week, he will be running things. So yes, 100.
Indeed. Nikki D, though, that I think that this could be an interesting time for Disney and Warner again, and hopefully they have a bit of friendly competition and seeing who can clean up the company the best first. That will be interesting to see.
The fastest.
And then the rest of Hollywood might follow.
They have to. That's the thing, is if somebody goes back to making good entertainment again, everybody else is going to be scrambling. All the bologna sausage we've been dealing with aside, they will be scrambling to keep up at that point, and I look forward to it.
I'm hoping, Culture, I'm glad you mentioned that, and I'm going to piggyback off that statement. I'm hoping, when Gina's flick Terror on the Prairie comes out, that, I hope that ends up being, a really solid flick that turns some heads, because right now, wokies and crazy PC types, they don't want to see Gina succeed. And if that flick succeeds, people are going to pay attention. People are definitely going to pay attention. I feel like that's something that can really, if that flick ends up delivering, people are going to pay attention.
Well, the beauty of that is most people don't know or don't care that it's made by the Daily Wire or whatever, or produced by the Daily, whatever. I mean, it's not really made by him, it's produced by. But we also have another guest joining us, the artiste himself, Douglas Nelson. How you doing?
Oh, wow.
Hey, Tom. Thanks for having me on.
Glad to have you.
What's up, man?
We're just talking about the Warner situation over there. Zaslav taking over Friday. Heads are rolling already. Yeah, it's been fun.
Yes, it's very exciting, and I think, it certainly Warner Brothers is. I've always thought lately is the one to keep an eye on about interesting things afoot. But then all the chaos once again erupted at Disney, so it's kind of a running battle between the two as to who has the better soap opera. But certainly I did catch the news about Sarnoff, and that's a positive sign there. But it's also another indication of I've been wondering about perhaps the Bad Robot and J.J. Abrams' power waning.
Oh, yeah.
To some extent here, because he embarrassed himself with the Star Trek IV business, and I'm really dubious that that's going to come about. This is like the fourth attempt at the fourth movie. And all of that, and they didn't even have any deals signed up for the cast and everything. So that's really a bit of a humiliation on that. And then all his DC projects, none of them have come to fruition. I mean, I suppose on the side you could count Matt Reeves because they were buddies, but that's not really true. That's all Matt Reeves on his own. So there's no word on his Superman project or anything like that.
It's dead from what I keep hearing.
Yeah. And Cartoon Man, yes, he did make Discovery into a lot of that reality TV shit, but he also made Discovery what it was to begin with. And a lot of the Discovery stuff people weren't watching. That's why he changed it. As much as you may have liked it and some other people did, the ratings weren't there. And when he switched it over, the ratings were. Same thing. I was a huge fan of Court TV, and then they switched it to whatever it was, Real TV or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But, it found a new audience, right? I like it or hate it. He knows how to flip it, right? And I can't take that away from him. So
he knows how to be a manager, and that's definitely needed in a lot of throughout Hollywood with these studios and whatnot. So I mean, I don't really see him making the DC universe a reality show.
No, exactly. It's not like he's going to do that.
Oh, you mean James Bond over at Amazon? Oh my God,
that's going to be so great! Can't wait to see a reality show based around a failing $4 billion purchase.
Oh Lord. But yeah, we started off the show with the Star Trek news, Doug, and we just got through the Warner Brothers news, and there ain't been much else. The Warner Brothers news is really kind of taken over the news cycle here in the last few hours. But then a lot of this is not surprising. We're just kind of sitting here counting next. Who's going to be next? You know?
Well, the fourth Star Trek is just so dead. It doesn't really. It's too little, too late. That look, the whole cast is returning. I mean, are they going to do a cameo in it, or are they coming back for a third season of Picard?
Probably the whole thing, but I mean,
all the above. Yeah.
It'll be all the above because they want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to act like they're still doing, because if they only carry on with the old stuff, it's them indirectly admitting that their new shit failed. So they're gonna do both. That way they would say, "Hey, look, we're pleasing both sides here." Wrong. They can't. They're never gonna admit failure. Like seriously.
Yeah. No, they're desperate, and this will get them. Some people will watch that, but.
Yeah, until the power company cuts the lights off because no one's got the scratch to pay the bill. And then that'll be the end of their Star Trek run.
Well, Poopy Stew, as Raquel calls him, probably only has one more season in him anyway.
Yeah. But that's the thing. If they bring back the other cast members so you can drag them through the mud too.
Prop them up.
Well, you've got, how else are you going to destroy the past unless you bring them back?
No, bring them.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's destroy it all. Now it's your turn. Let's talk about what a bunch of bums you are. Let's just ruin your characters next. I apologize to the universe.
No, Daryl, I didn't see Mr. H's discussion about Chris Pine's thoughts on returning to Trek, but I did catch part of Chris Pine's thoughts, and I thought it was hilarious, and I sent it to Andre because pretty much he said, "Yeah, I don't."
It doesn't sound like
script. I've not gotten a phone call, but I really think Star Trek needs to quit trying to be the MCU. Was basically what I got from that whole entire conversation.
That's what he said.
I hate to agree with Chris Pine, but he's right. But it's too late.
I think he's moved on. I think
it's almost like he can see what's coming and goes, "Yeah, I don't want any part of this sinking ship."
He also just took another role that it sounds like he might be good for. So I guess we'll just see what happens. I mean,
he don't need it. He don't need it. Right?
I
mean, he's Chris Pine. He can snap his fingers tomorrow and somebody will pick him up for something. Whether he's going to be in Wonder Woman 3 or not.
Of course he is, Tom. They'll bring him back somehow. He'll be somebody cat or something in it. They'll find a way.
Yeah, well, Steve Trevor always came back in the comics. He died like 50 times in the old comics. So
he's right too. That's a set by Club.
Seriously, he died more than the Waynes.
Oh God, no! Steve Trevor was a running joke even in the 70s and 80s. Steve Trevor's died so many times.
See, I've never been a huge I honestly, the only Wonder Woman comics I've ever read are ones that she's in of other people's.
Hey,
I have maybe one Wonder Woman comic in my collection, and that's it.
Her first 30 or 40 years of publication history was pretty much the same thing. Her book never was a huge seller when they finally put her back in her Wonder Woman costume after looking like Emma Peel in the early 70s.
Yeah, I know more about the behind-the-scenes business than I do anything that actually happened in the comics.
Oh, I got you. Well, they brought her back in the 70s when they put her back in her proper uniform a few years before she had a TV show.
Danny O'Neill fucked it up,
and then they had to. If you notice the borders of those old Bronze Age comics, it would have a couple of members, it'll have Batman or have Superman or Flash, depending on. It'll have a member of the Justice League telling what is going to happen to Wonder Woman this week, and they would put that on the covers because boys weren't going to buy comics with Wonder Woman. Let's face it, they think. They see that they thought, they're superheroes on this comic with Wonder Woman, and they really weren't. For a while, they've done everything gimmick in the book to sell her series, and of course, when George Perez revised it in the mid '80s, that did well for a while. But she's never been on her own. The biggest
he damn
seller.
Near killed her in the '70s. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then the TV show, of course, revived her popularity.
Yeah.
Not the pilot with Kathy Lee Crosby.
Because what you're talking about was when Denny O'Neill, who actually came out later and apologized for taking away Wonder Woman's powers.
Well, yeah, and making her dress like Emma Peel. I mean, that was a good.
They thought they were doing this pro-feminist thing, and the feminists are like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Exactly. Yeah,
she's like, "Well, I thought I was doing good." No, you basically took away the only fucking strong woman in comics' powers. You idiot.
It was a weird era that they were doing that. It's like, and yet. She would still pop up in Justice League.
It was kind of like the woke shit before the woke shit.
That's what I was about to say. It's like a precursor to it.
Oh, there was plenty of it.
It really was.
They think they're doing something for women or whatever, and they actually end up insulting them.
Virtue signaling didn't start in 2016. Let's put it that way. It's been going on for a long time. Hollywood, comics, all media. It's just, it came to a explosion after around 2015 or 16. Hollywood's been, run by idiots and the big companies, comic companies.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even like in 2016 when they did the Rebirth stuff with Wonder Woman, that was her best-selling sort of stuff, and then they couldn't even go 10 issues without bringing in all the politics, and then the sales went down to like 10%.
That would be Greg Rucka who did all
Greg
shit.
Rucka
It's unfortunate because
yeah.
a lot of the other Rebirth books around that time, I was actually enjoying and I was actually reading, and I was
It
like,
was
"Oh,
so
sweet,
good.
maybe they'll actually get Wonder Woman right." And then nope, Wonder Woman just went to absolute shit really quickly. I was like, "Oh, that's unfortunate." And yeah, like I would like to say, Superman was actually good. Actually, comics was fun. The Flash was cool. Yeah, I was enjoying Rebirth, and
Yeah,
everything like the heroes are heroes.
Bendis.
And then Bendis the Destroyer.
You just opened up the comic version of Zack Snyder lid with that, name.
He's worse. His fingers are poison. Like he'll touch a page, and every other page around it gets infected. That's how bad he is.
Bendis writes one character in each book, and that's everyone talks exactly the same. And if you had read all of his dialogue, without knowing who is speaking, you could suppose one character speaking, and it's all in his quippy Joss Whedon, aka Bendis.
Yeah, he's
that's
very
all it is.
It's like the opposite of Tom King. Every character sounds the same, except Tom King's are all depressed.
No, Tom King's character. Tom King's characters are this. Whoever's the main character is Tom King, and then whoever's the main woman is his wife, and that female character is the mommy wife, and she's better than the lead hero at every freaking thing.
Yes.
Yeah, and we've seen him do it with Mr. Miracle and Big Barda, Batman and Catwoman, now Adam Strange and Alana Strange. Like he's just going left and right, and then of course, then there was the assassination of Wally West. I'm not even the biggest Wally West fan, but I can imagine, I still at least respect, the fans who love that character.
Nick, Heroes in Crisis never happened. We're not talking about it. It never happened.
Tom King.
I don't see you guys can read that modern stuff. The Screw 52 chased me away, but I hear what you're saying about Rebirth.
No, I'm glad Nick and Clobby are here because Hillis Mallory brings up that Carol Danvers started out as a feminist character. Now I don't know shit about.
She did.
No, she did.
Yeah, that's accurate. When she was Miss Marvel.
The Miss
People.
Yes, her first Miss Marvel series was Marvel was dabbling in that, yes, but compared to today, though.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd say it's a lot bit more nuanced. I'm gonna say that, Clubby.
Right.
I feel like it was a lot more nuanced. It wasn't something where it was so in your face. It wasn't kind of like the whole how you ever hear the whole thing about when someone says, "No, I'm vegan," you don't have to find them, they find you. I feel like these comics look for you with their lectures.
Feminist, yes, but she was still feminine, and she was
she was still a woman.
Yeah, I mean, she wasn't wearing a potato sack.
You guys are so toxic. I can't even believe
it. We're warming Nick up.
With that, that's a reminder that Tuesday nights is Toxic Tuesday on Nick Weiser's channel.
The best thing that ever happened to Carol Danvers was Rogue getting her hands on her.
Oh, you like that? How much ended up being binary later?
Yeah,
all those dudes had a hard on for Rogue, and let's be fair here. Rogue was always a far better character than I was gonna say Miss or Captain. Just say Carol Danvers. She's always been a dramatically better character. It's not even close.
Yeah, but not only were all the dudes in the comics after, all the dudes that were reading it were after Rogue. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just be honest.
Yeah. I mean,
true.
All right, I just came up with a new comic character, the non-binary they them. There we go. Nikki D says, "Isn't Thor dumb?
Safe place or snowblower or some shit?" The fuck is that?
Dumb and Thunder releasing in a few months. Shouldn't Marvel have dropped a trailer by now? Yes, they may have. Could have, but they have another movie coming out first, and they did just do some press junket thing for it. There's also this thing with ever since the pandemic, they've been really kind of holding off trailers until they're pretty sure a movie's coming out because the amount of money that gets spent on one of those campaigns is ungodly.
Mm-hmm.
And as we learned from the whole Bond situation,
that was bad.
Well, they were lucky they made their money back. Let's just say.
I still think that's erroneously reported that they broke even. $809 million with all of the production overrun costs, interest.
I agree
payments.
with you, Culture, but I think that the smart move they did, and the reason why I think they can argue they probably made their money back or broke even, is that they were smart enough to throw that fucker up for digital purchase only for a few months before giving it to anybody else or doing anything else with it. I think that helped them because it was a premium price. They did it the way I've been telling all these companies they should be doing it, as opposed to how Disney did it with like Black Widow.
And you were saying all of that what you just said. You've been saying that since even before the pandemic.
Yes, because
you've been saying this for well over 2 years.
I know a lot more people who watched it the moment it hit digital for sale than went to see it in theaters. That's the ironic part.
Yep.
So
yeah, I never saw it in theaters.
Yeah. And granted, it hit digital at that, or the high seas at that point too. But I still think it did very well in sales.
I'm living proof of what you're talking about, because guess what? I did a Valliant Renegade. I didn't go see Batman in the theater.
Well, I wish I didn't.
You got a point here, Stanley.
I kind of wish I didn't either.
Breaking even on every sale, but like with this Bond thing, it was like a make it or break it kind of thing. Like, this was one of those situations where they had to cross the finish line and they barely squeaked past, because otherwise it could have just demolished
killed the studio.
Well, MGM was already going to be bought out by Amazon,
right? But I mean, had that not happened,
had that not happened, MGM would be dead. The Bond franchise would be on like life support.
Yeah.
It would have been a very bad thing, let's say. And it would have been one of the major, like, I mean, they would have been able to probably get out from under it because of certain pandemic things, but like, it would have killed MGM. MGM would have been gone. They'd have been no more. But as far as Love and Thunder, I think they're waiting until after or right before
Strange.
Doctor Strange, because they don't want to oversaturate the Marvel things. They've always kind of been really picky about when they release anything, and they got certain shows and movies coming out. They're really picky about the trailers, and I'm not surprised we haven't got a Dumb and Thunder trailer yet, but I would imagine we'll get one probably with Doctor Strange, if not just.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
It's
gonna happen. Not that I care, but historically speaking, because I at least pay attention to it, they have usually released the first trailer on average 6 to 7 months, and obviously we're under a little bit of different circumstances in the last 2 to 2.5 years. But even then, with Doctor Strange's upcoming sequel, that was still 5 or 6 months ahead of its release schedule, and Thor is clocking in at 3 months. So if we're talking Strange hits in about a month, we're talking just shy of 2 months. Like that has to be an all-time high or low, however you call that.
Yeah, they're switching it to 60 days. That's where they're going. With TV, it's a month and a month and a half. It's 45 days usually now. So you're going to start seeing them change that up, because they are making so many changes. And correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, but they are making so many changes in these shows and films they're releasing and reshoots and everything else that they don't want to get caught pulling a Sony where, there's a lot of shit in a trailer that isn't anywhere in the film.
That I think is part of it. Let's see, here's the thing. Marvel's always been very outside of they have been very in control over what they release, what goes out there. Feige has a lot of control over that in comparison to a lot of other producers, because usually a lot of that stuff's turned over to the marketing department. So they handle a lot of that kind of stuff. They deal with how we're going to sell this movie, all that kind of shit. They get what they get from Feige. And that's the other thing, is most of the time when you notice if these trailers, especially the last few years, 90% of the shit you see in the trailers is only stuff that's in the first part of the movie, and it's always been digitally augmented in some way to hide something, right?
Yep.
So part of that culture, I get where you're coming from. I think they're more worried about just certain other things, but right now Marvel is in this weird fluctuating spot, because it seems like they can get their shit together real quick for something like No Way Home that I know people want to give Sony so much credit for, but they have very little to do with, as opposed to their other shit on the other end where they're having all these issues. But I feel like a lot of the things that are being pushed back is they're reacting to No Way Home, which maybe they need to kind of go on the offense right now instead of the defense, because like they've been kind of copying what and back and forth and had control of the wheel for quite a while. And Feige, I think, needed that slip on the ice that was Black Widow, Eternals, and Shang-Chi. I think they kind of needed that. And these shows being bad is not a bad thing for this either in a way. And what I'm saying is hopefully it causes some fire to be lit under Feige's ass. Because something needs to change. I hope Chapek called him in the Monday morning after No Way Home dropped and said, what's your fucking excuse? You know, because that movie, besides being a Spider-Man movie, performed the way a Marvel movie should, and not the last three didn't, you know, where the last three did not. Or 2.5 if you want to give Black Widow the excuse of the pandemic. But still, Eternals and Shang-Chi still should have played better than they did.
See, I agree, Tom, because honestly, and Black Widow should have opened up. If anything, not that Black Widow is a good flick, because for me it wasn't, and that sucks. I hate saying it because I actually enjoy her comic interpretation, but that should have opened up to drastically better numbers than Captain Marvel. It should have, but with the amount of time that went away of it being what 2 years, or a year after it was supposed to be theatrical release, plus the fact that we already known her character was dead. And it was a flick that is a period piece that doesn't work for that type of character. We didn't care anymore. The stakes were completely eliminated from that flick. And it should have happened back in like phase 2. Like everything about Black Widow in a perfect world, that movie should have done the numbers that Captain Marvel did open weekend should have been Black Widow instead. But instead, Black Widow got the greater tragedy of the two.
I wish they could have done a Black Widow on par with Winter Soldier.
That's what I was hoping. For.
It would have nice.
It would have been ideal.
I didn't actually hate Black Widow. I liked the first 2/3 or so of the movie. It was that last third of where they're falling for 30 minutes.
That's
where I just...
Yeah. You know, but what you're saying about like perhaps there's a fire under Feige's ass, and one would hope, and I'm somewhat optimistic on that part. But that's the sort of thing that should have happened some time ago. You've seen this time and time again with these franchises, and they don't learn the lesson.
Well, somebody like Feige, you have to let him get burnt a few times.
Yeah, you got to bring him down to earth, you know. Yeah.
And I think that when he said that in the press about underestimating Chapek, that was a big humbling moment for him, because you guys, like I have pointed out time and time again, when it comes to Hollywood, he is arguably one of the biggest producers, if not the biggest producer in Hollywood right now. Dude could fucking do just about anything he wanted. Like he could probably walk out on Main Street and eat a fucking baby and ain't nothing nobody gonna do to him, right? Like I mean, he
plus everybody wants to be him, you know.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
You're very baby orientated today, Tom.
I am for some fucking. Well, it's because I seen this fucking thing last night and it stuck with me. It's like this dude supposedly ate a baby. I'm like, what the fuck?
What?
Oh my god!
What? Yeah, it's this guy who could eat anything, and he like I can't remember his name. It was like Terrari or something like that. Terrare. But he was like some French dude who he made money by basically being a freak by eating shit. Like he would eat like live animals whole and shit like that. And he was accused of eating a baby once, and they chased him out of a nut house because of it. Wow. Like that's how bad it got for this guy. Like,
even the asylum couldn't take
the asylum chased his ass out. Yeah.
God.
Wow, that's bad.
Wow.
Well, because it was kind of like this thing with this doctor was trying to do tests on him, and it was like there was an orphaned 4-month-old that went missing.
He's like, are you gonna eat that? And it's like, dude, that's my son. Is that a no?
Yeah. So they chased his ass out of there for that because,
I could have gone all of my life without knowing that, Tom.
Yeah, now you know.
Yeah. It inspired the
baby, according to some people. Yes, I shit you not.
I've
been, baby.
And I've been part of horror stuff and haunts for most of my lifetime, and I could have gone without knowing that.
Yeah, you know, Tom, after telling us that story, Black Widow's not so bad.
Exactly.
I'm uncomfortable.
This is what happens when I get lost on YouTube. Fucking
that's a
rabbit hole.
Dangerous thing to do.
Dumb question, but did we knock out the member chats?
We did get some member milestones. We've got Let's see here. We've got
Private.
Muslim Uncle for a member of 2 months at the minimum effort puppy level with no comment, but thank you. We have Kitty Bear, the Dutch bastard, and the Shadow Band member for 10 months at the minimum effort puppy member.
Jesus.
I give up today. Tim Hayes, who's been a member for 6 months. And then Willie sent in a message as well as his member milestone and said, hey, Tom, Culture Casino, Mexican Iron Man, Nick, Clobby, Mr. Grant, and chat. I'll be honest. I want to see out of the Snyderverse what I want to see out of the Snyderverse is a proper Batfleck movie where he battles the Joker, but not the main villain.
I would love that.
I want Joker to have a rest, but that's just me. I want Joker to have a 15-year rest.
I want an actual Riddler, not a Riddler / Hush.
Oh god, yeah.
That was no. What he did was he played Jigsaw from Saw, but as the Riddler is what.
Did you see Jim Carrey threw some shade at that shit?
As he should.
Yeah, I'm
Carrey's loony, but he was right dead on with that.
Yeah.
Oh man, that I seriously like.
That was so terrible.
That thing. And honestly, I know we all spoke of that infamous Catwoman line. Like that line, obviously, I was not a fan of, but it was the character assassination of several characters was what made me really took me out of it far worse than that one dumb line. I was just like, how these characters are just not recognizable to me, especially the Waynes. That was a slap in the face.
What they did to the Waynes was the most disgusting. Of course, they took it from a lot of garbage sources from comics.
Oh, yes, they did.
It sucks. It was horrible. The Waynes have, I always say, they have one function in Batman's lore, and that is to die in Crime Alley, and that's it.
That's it.
Leave them alone.
They were supposed to be philanthropists, and instead they made them one with mental issues, hiding that from the public, and the other working with the mafia. Like, oh my god!
What they did to Thomas Wayne?
I stopped caring. I stopped caring. Like, I was just like, I want this flick to end now.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Garbaggio.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's okay because Thomas Wayne didn't know he was going to do that. So see, because he was that stupid. He went to the mob boss to deal with a nasty reporter.
Hey, kill him or anything.
Well, let's just ignore the fact that he tried bribing him himself.
Yeah,
it's already stupid that he running for mayor garbage like they did in Joker. Bruce Wayne running for mayor. Thomas Wayne. That's a garbage.
And then let's make Martha's mother a murderer, even though I thought it was Martha, by the way. They fucking made it look in the movie. But somebody who's seen the movie supposedly 6 times corrected me. So regardless, I don't give a shit. The whole point, like that, and then I said that makes it even worse for Thomas to do what he did. Who gives a shit then? It's not even Martha at that point. At least if it was Martha, I can see some justification. But at that point, I'm still sitting here going, you made Martha a murderer or her mother a murderer. Either way, it doesn't matter. Fucking Thomas Wayne dealing with the mob in general is a big first and bad no-no. You don't have that.
And then there's Alfred. Alfred would not just hide. Granted, the Waynes would not do stuff like that. But granted, the Waynes would not do stuff like that. But even if he did, Alfred would not hide that type of information. That's like his confidant. He would not just do that to Bruce. It was just I didn't recognize those characters. I'm like, thanks for destroying the Wayne family legacy characters. Thanks, nice job, Warner Brothers.
Yeah, haven't they been killed enough?
Why did you say that? Oh, dude, when they showed Joker in the freaking prison, the first thoughts in my head were, "Oh, here we go again." Just like when Wayne's parents got killed in Joker, I'm like, "Oh, here we go." Man, it's become a hold my beer now with Batman. It's like the directors now just say, "Hey, when I want to do a Batman movie, I want to do my take on Batman to get to my take of the Joker." They pretend that 40 other villains don't exist. They forget that there's a legacy, that there's a Jason Todd or a Nightwing or a Barbara. They just want to do their take on the Joker. That's all they care about.
Yeah. On that note, Willie wanted to know what Jim said. Well, Jim said, addressing the darker version of the Riddler, who is depicted in the film as a Zodiac-style Proud Boy incel, Carey said that he was concerned the character's actions in the film might inspire copycat behavior. It's a very dark vision, he told Unilad. I have mixed emotions about it. To each his own and all that. In other words, he hated it.
Yeah, he didn't like it.
He was not a fan.
Did he really say Proud Boy though? He's an idiot.
Dano said, he said of Dano, I love him as an actor. He's a tremendous actor. There's a spot of worry in me over gaffer taping people's faces, encouraging people to do the same. He said some sickos out there might adopt him. Well, I don't agree with him on that part, but I don't like that aspect of the character. Right. He goes, I know there's a place for it. I don't want to criticize it, but it's not my kind of thing. It's very well done. Those movies are very well done. Yeah. He's basically taking the nice route out of saying it was shit.
Well, if it's true the way he treated Frank Gorshin, he can still go screw himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Batman. I'm checked out from that universe.
And I got to do this for Lord Kamina too. You keep your money. You get your mojo. I get your baby.
No, that's funny.
I ate the baby.
Oh, Jesus.
Get it in my belly.
I've got a bat turtle peeking out of my bum.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back.
You guys can't see it here backstage, can you? But I got a bat turtle peeking out of my bum.
Whoa.
Then get to the fucking bathroom, dude.
Don't do that here.
This got really revealing.
I don't think anybody wanted to know any of that. Third time on this stream.
I did not need to know about a turtle
I'm
head
like-
coming out from one end.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
Yeah. I'm like, right? Why? This doesn't happen on my show.
Oh yeah. We just talking about
If streaming with Tom and Mike is wrong, culture doesn't want to be right.
Stone King says, "Oh hell, the chat. Which villain would you like to see in the next Batman movie? Maybe something supernatural like Killer, Crocker, Poison Ivy." Well, that's a problem, and that's something that Script Doctor would point out too. Is this Matt Reeves Batman has kind of made it even more impossible than Nolan's Batman was to have any kind of these supernatural characters.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
It's too grounded because they're too tied up and tying it to the shit we're dealing with in the real world.
Yes.
It's not why you go to a movie in the first place.
Because my reality.
They've got a perfect opportunity to bring in a character that I think most people have been wanting to see for ages in this. If the next bad guy isn't Snowflame, I think we should write.
Dude, I want Condiment
Bookworm.
King, damn it.
Bookworm. I want
Bookworm.
I want Tweedledum and Tweedledee.
The question was, what would we like to see, though, not what we expect. So I guess what I would like to see in a perfect world.
I would. Can I go first? Because I have an answer.
Go for it. I actually had one too, but go ahead.
Oh no, go first. Then I'm sorry.
Well, what I've always wanted is actually a proper Riddler. I'm sick and tired of this shit they're doing here now with these kind of characters. Like Jim Carrey was close. The closest we've got, though, outside of Gorshin in a way, because like that's all Jim Carrey was really doing was just an impression of Gorshin. Let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
The only one we've gotten that's been interesting is in one of the worst shows, and that's Gotham. That is one of the best portrayals outside of the animated series of what we've had of the Riddler, and I wanted that in the third Nolan film.
He was a nut job too, though. Yeah.
He was, but like to me, the next logical step after you deal with the chaotic Joker is you have the meticulous Riddler, right? And he would have fit perfectly in a Nolan world if you had somebody like, I originally said what's his face who ended up playing Lex Luthor, but something like that, somebody who's cunning and annoying and all that kind of
Eisenberg?
shit.
Or just,
Eisenberg.
Yeah.
Make him base him on the John Glover Joker from the animated series. Base him on that, and make him smart, polished a little bit, and definitely
Neil Patrick Harris even could play it, maybe.
NPH. Yeah, NPH has the right body frame. He's got the right attitude.
Honestly, if I had a choice, that's who I'd pick. Yes.
Yeah, he's talented. He is talented.
He is. He's the music meister.
I was going to say he'd break out in song during it as well.
That would be incredible, right?
Use music meister.
That I thought was missing most with this movie is that the Riddler is supposed to be Batman's intellectual equal.
Right.
The only thing that differentiates them is the ego of the Riddler always gets in the fucking way.
Yes, he's
It always gets the better of him.
He's
right.
self-defeating in
He's
that
self-defeating,
sense.
yes.
He needs
Yeah.
to keep that battle going like the Joker needs to keep his battle with Batman.
And he is
going.
like that perfect balance to the Joker. And when you have that situation, like I would have loved to have seen that kind of a situation. But yeah, what about you guys, Mike?
I'll answer last.
I don't think I can answer that question because I don't want to see this kind of a Batman at all.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
Well, answer it like I did, and then tell your ideal what you would like to see.
Well, I want to see them do Bane right because the Bane.
That's a good one, yeah.
The Bane. Let me go somewhere for a second because the thing about Graham Nolan is the comic book artist that created Bane. Okay, he is absolutely possibly. I mean, Clubby, you know Graham Nolan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's one of my favorite artists of all
Slap him
time.
like Will Smith slapped Chris Rock if he didn't.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's in my all-time top 10 like for the last 50 years, and he's in my top 5 probably also as well. Okay, and you know, he created Bane, and the Bane that we got when Nolan took a stab at this was not the Bane that I got to know that Graham Nolan created because the thing about Bane is that he actually was like Hispanic. He was really intelligent.
Well, that's where he got his mask from. He was the wrestling
luchador.
Right.
Yeah.
There was a luchador angle, which is very popular, and like I'm not a fan of like U.S. wrestling, but like I'm more of a fan and know more about like Mexican wrestling history because we just grow up with it. Mexican American, whatever. It's just very prevalent. It's all over TV and everything. So what I loved about it is that the character was physical. Bane was also, when it was written in the comic books, was intelligent. He was strong. He was also, you know, Hispanic, and if there was ever a villain that I was drawn to, like I've never given a crap about, you know, does the superhero look like me or
right?
You know that I've never been like that. In fact, I don't want my superheroes touched, race swapped, ethnic swapped, anything. I want them just the way I read them in the books, whichever books are. Anyway, so Bane. So then Bane comes. So if they would do Bane right in a proper way, I could get behind that in this Batman universe if we did that, because I rejected strongly the look of the Riddler, and the Bane that we got, I wasn't happy with. I mean, I tease him a lot because, you know, like, Tom, you embraced the dark. I was born in it. Raised in it. By the time I had grown from being a little tortilla boy to a man, and saw the sun, I had already picked and harvested the avocados. Wow. Thomas Connor Wayne, you can stream all day and night, but that would not be good for you.
Fuck you, Bane. I can't understand a goddamn word you're saying. You gonna break my back again?
It's Tom Connors Wayne. Hello. Hello, Bat Tom. We need to get
fucking name, dude.
Whoa, Soul Nightmare's going way back to KG Beast. Good reference there.
Dude, KG Beast.
Oh, you guys are so. This is.
Can't wait for him to get locked in the sewer again.
So, Claudia, I know.
Yes, sir.
I know Culture's pissed because he's like, I have one answer.
Go ahead, Culture. I defer to you, Culture.
No, I defer to the comic expert, the man that I
was going in order. So
yeah, and Clobby's the best of us. Let's just be honest.
No, I'm no good. I don't know any of this stuff.
You lie. What do you want to see as a Batman villain next Batman movie? If you had a choice,
I would probably like. I would like to have seen Ra's al Ghul done properly.
Ra's al Ghul?
No, Ra's al Ghul is the actual pronunciation.
Well, I know, but I know.
Yeah, but no, I would like to see him done properly. But if you're talking about someone we haven't seen yet, Tom, I mean, basically,
I don't care. It's just going off the question here. I just kind of
okay. How about Two-Face done properly then?
That's a good one
because they didn't done that right either.
Yeah, he didn't really get a chance to do anything in Dark Knight, really.
Yeah. Tommy Lee Jones
was there, and then he was gone.
Tommy Lee Jones was just doing Nicholson as Two-Face.
He was trying to overdo Jim Carrey was the problem.
They were just over the top, unfunny. And then, you know, I guess everyone likes. I always call most live action films Batman for Dummies anyway. And Nolan stuff, I'm not the biggest fan of Nolan stuff. They're okay. That's Dark Knight. I guess it's a fine movie, but that's not Two-Face.
Goodness.
That is
Did
not
you just
Two-Face.
say that you're not a fan of Graham Nolan?
No, Christopher Nolan.
Oh, Christopher Nolan. Okay.
I like Graham Nolan.
Graham Nolan's a totally different situation.
Well, Chuck Dixon, when Chuck Dixon created
Put the pitchforks down.
When Chuck Dixon created Bane, he pretty much based a lot of his origin in Doc Savage, and I always thought that was kind of cool. I remember when I finally got to ask Chuck Dixon, I asked him that on some stream we were all on with him, and he said, "How did you know that?" I don't know. I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? But yes, a lot of his origin, and he's kind of like an evil Doc Savage.
Dude, Doc Savage, what a great! Oh my god! Most kids don't probably know that. I mean, most adults probably don't know that. Fuck.
Well, Hillis wants to know Bane and Batman Forever or Dark Knight series. I think you meant Batman and
Robin.
And Robin, yeah.
God, the first Bane was complete garbage.com.
The problem with that is
Deep Swenson.
Here's what I don't get about Batman and Robin. Okay, and I get it. Schwarzenegger's not, Hispanic or whatever, but you have Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie, and instead of having him play Bane,
which would have been smart,
that would have made more sense. Yeah,
you have him fucking playing Mr. Freeze.
That's right.
I'm Mr. Cold Christmas.
Hey, Tom,
Stay
cool. Stay cool.
Stay cool.
The Iceman.
Am I the only one? Question for the panel: am I the only one that when Arnold Schwarzenegger came out, you thought of that like Santa Claus is coming to town? I'm Mr. White Christmas.
He does that song in the fucking movie, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
hey, come on. He's trying to get the Come on. I just love when he falls in that ice water. He's like,
Hey, Tom, how about use Deadshot properly for a Batman film?
Well, that'd be cool.
Ooh, yes.
Not like they did him in the
I've never been a
Suicide
huge
Squad
fan, but
crap.
as
far as someone
they got to recast now, don't they?
Yeah.
Wow. Yes,
just throwing one out there.
Nelson. Yes,
but both Banes have been bullshit. Hillis,
yes.
On that.
The only thing I can say about the Batman and Robin Bane is that at least he sort of resembled the comic book version.
Yeah. At least they had that much going for it. But Adam Wolford says Batman versus Owlman, an evil Batman. Now that's a movie I want to see. Or Court of Owls, Batman versus Lex. Both not only fight but matching smarts. Yeah, them are good ones.
But dimensions.
Yeah, but moving on with our panel here, I believe Nick would be next in line. What would you like to see in a Batman movie?
All right.
Next villain.
Nick Weiser's ideal Batman flick would have Batman fully in his prime. Dick Grayson is beyond being Robin, and he's maybe at the stage of his Nightwing. You can have an opening scene villain where Batman and Nightwing are fighting side by side. The opening villain would be someone like Solomon Grundy. And then the main villain of the movie would be a really underrated villain in the ventriloquist. I've always liked I love the ventriloquist. The idea of this crazy old man and his Scarface doll. It's like, is the doll like really alive, or is he just?
I was about to say, so you just want Batman forever until you got to the ventriloquist.
He wants Batman Chucky. That's what he wants.
Batman Chucky.
There you go.
And you could do a good detective story around the ventriloquist. I feel like you could do a good detective story around that villain. And as far as the muscle behind the ventriloquist, I was gonna say KGB. Someone made it in chat. That would be the muscle behind the ventriloquist. Ventriloquist is just the guy who's there for the mindset of stuff, but the muscle is KGB's.
Wow.
So that's what I would like.
Interesting answer.
And that's how you can balance out where you can have few villains and still have it be balanced. Because a lot of people, they think you just gotta have all the villains in the entire movie the entire time. You can have a lesser known villain be like an opening villain, or even Condiment King. Oh, speaking of which, he could be an opening villain for Batman and Nightwing.
King, yes.
I would love that. Seriously, if he was like a guy just for Batman,
I don't know if I could
Nightwing
take that
punch.
shit seriously.
See, that's the beauty of it, is have that silliness there. I want to see a little bit of
I'm not against that. I want to see it more. I want it to be more in line with the animated series. That's what I want. I think everybody needs to see. But all right, Culture Casino, the man that everybody's been waiting for. What would you do?
Dude, I'm going to go full stunning and brave.
Oh.
Give me the female rogues. Bring them in, have them each have their, individual like failures, tussle with the bat, right? Maybe a little bit of a win here and there for the ladies. And then in the end, the bat gets the better of them all.
You just want to see a bunch of women getting hit on screen. We get it.
No, I want Poison Ivy there. I want I want a Harley Quinn. I want the female representation, but not the way they want to give it to me. I want the bat.
I think there's a porn for that culture.
I know, yeah, maybe, but that's not what I'm looking
And
for.
Batman definitely wins.
Well,
Ooh.
I'm just saying, wouldn't that be brilliant, right? Just turn this bullshit on its ear.
He's
And,
like, there's only one way we can solve this. I must fuck all of you at once.
well,
Let's get to the cave.
I
No.
don't know that I'm invested in that particular plot path there,
No,
Tom.
I
but-
know. I'm just saying. All right, so you want all the femme fatale villains?
I
You want
do.
Catwoman, Poison Ivy, all
Yeah.
that business. All right,
Harley
Doug.
Quinn, bring him out.
As far as I mean, Clobbering Times hit on a very good one, which is Two-Face, who hasn't gotten the proper justice, would be a good one. But as far as just any villain, that especially in the supernatural, Man-Bat has never had an appearance. So
Thank you. That's a good one.
That would be a cool thing to especially
Kirk
treat it
Langstrom.
like a horror film and stuff like that.
I do
you know?
like
Yes.
Man-Bat.
I love
Yeah.
Man-Bat. Kirk Langstrom, and it's a tragic tale too. He's not necessarily a
Right,
villain,
right, yeah,
Yeah.
But probably more likely of what they could do for this version of Batman would be to do a story with Hugo Strange. And
Yeah.
that would be a good one.
Yeah.
I say it could be a good one, but you see, the problem with the Batman is that it's got all its atmospherics and mood and stuff like that, and it suggests that there's going to be this detective story, but it really isn't. And I mean, the Riddler wins in the end, so it just falls apart. So you gotta, if you're gonna do a Hugo Strange, it's got to be a deeply psychological, smart, well done, plotted out story. So if they can do that, then they might have something there.
What if they bring the first one back? Doug, how about bring back Dr. Death?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Good one.
yeah.
I'm just going.
Yeah,
weird on you.
because
Remember
but you
that
could do
classic
it.
scene from that comic when Batman kills him, basically death to Dr. Death.
So Grant, how about you?
I want to see Willie Cobb, Talon. I think having Talon as a bad guy, it would work good as a standalone thing, because then you can have an overarching story of the Court of Owls, someone who is physically a match to Batman, but is 10 times as cruel when it comes to the punishment. I'd like to see that, so then you could make it more of an actual martial arts style film, versus say something like a detective story that's not a detective story. So that's the route that I would go.
All right. Well, we got Toxic Man Flu in the house, and of course he has to invoke George Clooney. He says, I think George Clooney should get a second shot in the nip suit. Who's with me? Come on. Nip suit.
Put that on Mad Mardigan.
Yeah, make Mad Mardigan. You know what? Make Mad Mardigan read that super chat.
Yeah,
Come on.
right? Lily Woodward says, thanks. You guys got me to watch Batman and Robin. We did not force you to watch it.
Oh wow!
I mean,
Who did that to that poor man?
who made you watch it?
Who
Like,
would do
that's
something
bad.
so cruel?
Then
It wasn't
Valiant
good.
calls us nerds. Well, you have the link, nerd.
Yeah, come in here, nerd.
Are you a
Mr.
nerd or a
He's off
geek?
dealing with kids and
Valiant,
shit.
are you a nerd or a geek, man? Come on to know.
Nerds.
Nerd.
No one. Toxic. No one. I mean, I will agree with you that Clooney didn't get a fair shake, but at the same time, he didn't really try that hard either. So.
I think he had more than his fair shake. The minute he said, "Hi, Freeze, I'm Batman," I stopped caring. I'm like, "Oh God, we're doomed."
He put up with the line. He let them make him do a scene when he holds up the card, says Batman forever. Don't leave home without it. He should have walked off. He had enough clout to stop that scene from happening, and he let it happen.
I have registered your opinion, Spock, but decided I don't give a damn about it.
Look, I'm going to say this. Clooney
This is why Superman works alone. Was the dumbest
Clooney is a talentless hack as an actor. He's a head tilt actor, and I fucking hate him. Everything he does is so
Grant.
He's only ever playing himself.
Did I cut you off, Grant? I'm sorry.
That's okay, bud. I was just saying, he said that the bat line was the thing that did. I lost it on the first one when he said, "This is why Superman works alone." I went, wait, so Superman exists in
Why
this
Superman
universe?
works alone.
But that's so true, culture. I can't stand him.
Yeah.
Mr. Head Bob, smile, head Bob.
Oh God,
You can't even sell coffee properly.
Well, you guys got to remember that Superman line was put in there to help set up Superman Lives.
It did not
Batman
work.
Forever had a mention. They mentioned Metropolis. So.
Yeah.
They were going there, but thank goodness it didn't happen.
Gosh,
I wish it would have happened, Doug.
Yeah,
that would have been fucking glorious.
I mean, seeing those costume fittings with Nick Cage in this.
I'm more of an Earth protector.
Okay, we can laugh at that. It could have worked. You don't know.
Lex is gonna kill us all. Anyone could stop him.
Don't harsh on a Coppola.
Why couldn't you
dude?
just
That's
put
not-
the kryptonite down?
You're harshing on a Coppola, dude. Not cool.
I love Nicolas Cage.
Oh my God.
Well, now he's going to be Dracula.
I
What?
want to
Kind
suck
of.
your blood.
Yeah.
I'm more of a corpse protector.
That's the greatest thing ever. Holy shit.
It's not about the beer that I drink, but how I party after.
Can you imagine if he played the Scarecrow? He was supposed to.
Oh,
Oh,
my
Matter,
God.
Batman.
Oh,
There's a
wow.
villain that
Things
shoots
you
right,
don't
Scarecrow.
like.
Oh.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's
Scarecrow.
another one they need to do. Yeah.
Right. Do it properly though. Not in a
Yes.
stupid
Oh, looky who's here.
way they did him. Hey, Valiant.
Well, I mean, you told me to come here, so here I am. I just
Oh,
got
here
home.
he is. He's more of a stream protector.
I don't know how to respond to stream protect. I mean, in my age, you know, stream protection is a medical necessity. So-
Yeah. Yeah. As you get
and
older,
especially at culture's age.
Dude, you're
oh
not,
my God,
Hey, you're a youngster.
you're not wrong though. I mean, sir.
Oh,
You're a very young man.
Batman, Batman. Why can't you just die?
I have no idea what the holy hell I walked into.
Nick
but-
Cage.
You walked into
Good to
Nick-
see everybody.
Nick Cage in a Batman movie.
Yeah, I know.
He would have been a glorious villain. I
He
don't give a
would
There's,
have.
there's Paulie.
It would have been
Hey,
a glorious Superman.
You know, we didn't get the Five Nights at Freddy's movie when I'd hoped, but the Nick Cage knockoff version of that was not bad.
I'm very proud of all my work I've done.
Really?
Yes.
Especially Con Air.
Dude,
Especially
Con
Con
Air.
Air.
I love Con
Con
Air.
Put the
It's so
bunny
good.
down.
Con Air was
What the
great
fuck?
because of John
Yeah.
Malkovich.
Oh,
Yes.
he was
Oh,
great.
dude, everybody in that film delivered.
Oh, Dave
man.
Chappelle's in it.
Good
Dave
cast.
Danny
Chappelle,
Trejo,
absolutely.
yeah.
Hey, don't forget Colin Meaney.
Oh, fucking that
good.
movie is great. I love
I love.
Con Air.
That's gonna be a Toxic Tuesday
Oh,
eventually.
yeah, Nick, I thought you did that one already, man.
No, I did not.
Oh, yeah, you got to do it. Yeah.
Oh, it will happen. But there's a few other like surprises I'm gonna be working on. We're actually doing some animated ones too soon. So that's gonna be
what?
fun, yeah.
Heavy metal. Do heavy metal.
Well, I'll just say stay tuned.
We got to do heavy metal soon because that's coming to
Oh,
4K.
It's gonna happen.
Ooh,
That's
trust me.
gonna blow your eyeballs out.
We're
of your fucking
we're gonna
socket.
come. We're gonna come.
Oh,
It's
we're
gonna be
coming.
great.
We're gonna
Oh,
come.
God.
No,
We're totally gonna come.
no.
I'm gonna come.
Culture's getting uncomfortable.
Dude, this whole stream, this is like the fourth time. These guys was so.
I love how
thoughtful.
culture.
I wish I could have been listening the whole time because the sounds just atrocious.
Uh-oh, Richard.
Seriously, we all have culture circle. This is the perfect
I
time.
love.
to
I'm
come.
never gonna get
Oh
tired
my
of that.
God.
I'm telling you, he calls him Richard on his way up to the stage.
I don't get that. I don't see what it means. I don't.
You know what? That whole moment really was the culmination of the last at least 15 years of the degradation of the Academy Awards. I mean, that summed it up in one perfect moment. I mean, that slap from Will Smith, and I know he didn't realize it, but that slap to Chris Rock, that was Hollywood's slap in the face of America. Chris Rock is America, and Will Smith was Hollywood in that moment. Hollywood hasn't figured it out yet, but that is why those 30 seconds of television have become so seminal
Actually, it was
in
only
the last
6 seconds.
Well,
Or you mean the whole thing together?
the whole thing with him sitting back in his seat and saying, shut your mouth and all this kind of stuff. I don't want to repeat it just
Keep
to
your
for YouTube
wife's name out your fucking
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah.
Keep your traditional American values out your mouth. It's everything about that was just
I get what you're saying.
microcosm representative of a macro level problem in America.
So you're saying
Everything.
Chris was right when he said it was the greatest moment in the history of television.
Yeah,
Might be.
it probably was.
It was certainly one of the most representative moments of Hollywood in television history.
Word.
Yeah.
I say we break into the place, trash the office, and make off with the records and say it was industrial espionage.
I thought my jokes were bad.
I don't know, just like that.
Well, I
That's
like that
cool.
one.
Nice.
I've never seen that one.
Who put that
Great.
together?
I
Pretty
don't remember.
cool.
I stole it from somebody, but they did a great job.
Oh, it's incredible.
Should have showed Cesar Romero laughing though.
Yeah. I love how they did that. They even managed to get the lighting right.
Oh yeah, they nailed
That's
it.
the
Really,
key.
that
That's
was
very
very
nicely
well
done.
blended.
Yeah.
As
Yeah, you-
somebody that
Good job.
does photography, that was great.
Well, what they did is they did a frame capture on one, and they picked that as their master to color grade from, and then worked backwards from there. At least I think that's the way I
Well,
would
not
do it.
just that, they also painted, because that scene with Joaquin, he's not in paint when he's smoking, and that's him normally. So they also
So they just grafted his
they grafted his paint over his face. And that one.
As good as that matching is, I would lay money that was done in DaVinci Resolve. And may the originator of that video tell me I'm right.
Fahrenheit Edit. Farron Edit. I'll re-say it. That's his name. Fahrenheit Edit. That's who did it. He's got a few things here he's done. Oh, he's got another one with the Jokers in it too. He's got some Godfather ones too.
Oh, yeah, except for Godfather 3, right? Because that's not good.
Don't even go there with that.
Tom, you sound like you need to nap for 3 days.
He does, doesn't he? He sounded like that this morning, right after he got up to come on my show. He's like, "Oh, we're waking up."
And look, I say that out of love as a brother, man. I mean, you just, I get it. I feel it. I get the same way myself quite often with my life. You just, man, get some rest. Take a vacation, bro.
Yeah, you can see that this work, he was getting to this point. Like some of his other stuff is not quite as good, but then when he gets to this one, it's really good. So,
I like
or
Squid
her
Game
or
one.
whoever.
You've seen that one?
Which one?
Cool. He's got Neo in Squid Game.
What?
I don't know. He's got a few of them here. That's all I know.
Yeah.
I have to check it out. That's cool.
Yeah, I got the link in the chat there. Yeah, he's got Matrix Saved a Squid Game here. Sell Me This Pin. Oh, we gotta do this one. Okay, because I love this movie. Oh, of course he fucked this up and put it up in that. What is this stupid shit recently with this shit?
The shorts?
Yeah, the little stupid fucking thing.
Oh, I hate this. Hate shorts.
Tell me this.
This is a good one.
Oh, that's good. That's good, dude.
Sell me this pen.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
As it should be.
Oh, it's beautiful.
No, actually, I've been a bit under the weather. I got sick. I got my tooth pulled. I've been just blah. So that's kind of why I've been low energy. But
I need to.
I haven't
mail
really
you.
ate much lately, and yeah.
I'm gonna mail you a steak, bro. You need a good steak.
Steak.
I'll just, I mean, we can mail you a gift card. What's a good steakhouse up there in Wisconsin?
Texas de Brazil up there.
I don't know if they have that or not. Scissors with Runs says, Tom always sounds like that. Do you even Tom, bro? Now, it sounds like he fucked up and meant to say sleep, but as I point out, no, sleep. No, Tom is what sleep does when it rests.
No, I've
Think
been
about that
around
for a
long enough
moment.
to know like regular Tom versus even the subtleties when I hear really tired Tom that needs a vacation.
Yeah, Tom hasn't slept in 6 days, Tom.
I've gotten some sleep, but I even slept
He
a little
slept
bit
in
today.
January.
Yeah, there was January.
Most of January, actually.
Yeah, there was that. Oh, was there anything else going on, guys?
No, unless you want to do more Disney. Good Lord.
Not really. Illis Mallory says, VR, which Batman villain would you like? Oh, yeah, we didn't get to ask you this.
Oh, yeah, VR.
Yeah.
I would.
What would you like to see in a Batman movie?
I would really, honestly, I would like to see no more Batman movies for a while.
Well, now you sound like Nick, but if
we went through all this shit, but we basically played along and we said, okay, if we could fantasize and make our own Batman movie, what would we do with the villain?
Ideal Batman flick.
Look, Hillis, I was very happy, regardless of what anybody else might think, might criticize me for. I was really happy with the Nolan trilogy as a whole. I really was. I enjoyed it. My kids loved it. We loved to sit down and watch those movies together. I know there's a lot of criticisms for the third movie, but I've gotten Joker, I've gotten Bane, look, if they could bring back a seriously, like, I just watched again a few nights ago on 4K, the Danny DeVito Penguin. I watched Batman Returns like 2 nights ago.
I'd have you spayed.
I loved that. So, I mean, go back and give me, you know what? Call Danny DeVito again to come back as the Penguin. That would make me happy. If DeVito came back and did the Penguin again.
That's the pussy I've been looking for.
How about that? I think the Joker has been done, very well by different genre standards.
Could be worse.
Jack
My nose could be gushing blood.
Between Jack Nicholson, between what we got in 2008 with The Dark Knight. I think that's been done well enough. I don't know. I haven't seen the new Batman movie yet, to be totally frank. I will probably watch it when it drops on HBO Max. That's my plan, because if that's what HBO wants to give me as a 45-day theatrical window and tells me to sit at home and wait because it's not important enough to go to the theater to watch, I'll do that. And, of course, Jason and Amy are looking for new jobs today because of that bullshit, but that's another story.
Yeah. Toxic Man Flu says, every time Tom tries to get out, they pull me back in. Hashtag TomFather3. Then Paulie says, Godfather 3 sucks.
Richard!
Toxic Man Flu says Godfather 3 needs more Latinx representation. Isn't Andy Garcia enough?
They're trying to trigger me, Tom. Because you and I are on the same page with Godfather 3. I got Paulie talking smack, Toxic Man Flu.
It made me have to stick up for this movie, damn it.
Well, I mean,
you know what? We're not going to give them any oxygen. Next topic.
The best.
Yes.
The best.
I got
part of
two movies this weekend that my plans are to go see. 2, which is crazy for me.
Sonic.
Number 1, Sonic 2, and number 2, I am overdue. I had bought tickets previously, but I had to cancel them because of other things that came up. Let me put it that way. For the anime Jujutsu Kaisen. So that's it. That's my weekend. I really want to try to go see those when I can. Yeah. And if not, Monday, Tuesday next week.
Wow.
Oh, now you're really going too far. It is definitely not the worst Mafia movie.
Come on. Paulie. No, wait. You know what? Paul, I love Paulie. I do. He's trolling.
I know he is, but he's
the best thing about Godfather 3 was that it had the title Godfather.
What was the credits?
Shut up, culture.
We look. I'm sorry.
It's hard for me to take anyone's opinion seriously about whether Godfather 3 sucks when they, like Shang-Chi. That's all I'm gonna
Never underestimate the
Ooh.
power.
Oh, dude, Feng Shui's sister and the 10 bracelets. Yeah.
Never underestimate the power
Terrible
of
movie.
forgiveness.
Wait, did Valiant like
I
Shang-Chi?
was talking about Paulie.
Oh.
No, I thought Shang-Chi bought those bracelets on Etsy from a college
No,
girl
Valiant
at
likes
Virginia
Godfather
Tech.
3.
I didn't
Look,
know.
do we actually have to make teams now? Culture's on team anti-Godfather 3.
Oh well, I'm just saying, of the three films, it's
Tom
the worst
Connors,
film.
Tom Conkle, and myself, I really feel like, and I cannot tell you how much I enjoyed the hell out of that live stream a few nights ago about Godfather. Well, the whole 4K release, but Godfather 3 in particular. There is, look, Godfather 3 has some of the best moments, the best scenes, the best character arcs for Michael Corleone in the whole
brother.
Godfather series in that movie,
I
and I
killed
make
my
no
mother's
apologies
son.
for that statement.
I killed my father's son.
We've got a situation where someone is spamming the chat, and I feel Tom, I feel as a member of diverse ethnic communities, I do not feel that I am in a safe space right now. I feel that I am under attack,
Wow.
and I'm Tom. I'm just trying to bring love to the
Look,
show.
you made him cry, Paulie.
Oh no.
I'm trying to bring love here.
Oh no.
I think your camera's like on 480p there.
Yeah.
We could see you cry better if you were in 1080p.
Oh, sorry.
Wow,
Yeah, we can really see the
man
tears.
flu. Holy, hit Mike below the belt.
I want to see a Bollywood version of The Godfather.
I don't know if Paulie saw the Godfather.
The dance
show
number
that
to Make You an
and
Offer
I
You
did,
Can't
but
Refuse was
Paulie,
amazing.
go watch that just so I don't have to repeat it here. But go watch what we talked about in that show, because look, dude, bro, I would love to have a conversation with you on this. I have the reasons that I love Godfather 3. Certainly, it's not as good as 1 and 2, no doubt, no doubt. But the Coda version on the new 4K set, I really enjoyed. I thought it cleaned up a lot of things that I didn't like. But there's a lot of character arcs and things in there that speak to me personally. And I think that's one of the reasons that it got nominated again for Best Picture that year.
In a
And it
year
went up
that
against-
wasn't devoid of other great pictures, right?
No, it wasn't. It went up against Goodfellas. It went up against Dances with Wolves. It went up against Awakenings, which also starred Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
I mean that was back in the days when the Oscars actually meant something.
Yeah.
The worst part of the movie is his daughter. We get it. We get
Yes.
it.
Yes. And I will totally agree with that. I
And
will
the problem
totally
with
agree.
that is I wish you could cut that out of the movie, but you can't because it's so integral to the plot, unfortunately. But I love Andy Garcia's character as Sonny's son.
I do.
I love the stuff with the Vatican. I love
Yep.
how Michael's trying to get out, how he feels like there's no way he can cleanse his soul of his sins, and he shouldn't, as the priest points out. He's like, you should suffer, right?
Yes.
Like,
That
and
confession scene, my God.
and that's
My
one thing,
God.
even though I prefer the 1991 cut more, Valiant is right. The ending now of Coda makes more sense the way he wanted it to be. Because the death of Corleone, Michael isn't the death of Michael himself. His death is his daughter, losing his daughter. That's the death of him at that moment. That's where his everything ends.
Right. That was the death of the Godfather. Corleone's
Exactly.
character, the Godfather, died on the steps of that opera house in Palermo. That was the death of Corleone. That's what Coppola wanted.
Like a man. I'll go with this. Fuck it.
Excellent point.
Yeah.
Can't argue with the math there.
Wow.
Numbers are bigger and stuff.
How do you argue with that?
No, I can't. I see nothing. Nothing.
Are
I
we
think
aware that?
ends
Are
the
we?
conversation there?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh shit! Tox comes in another one. Hey Tox, how you doing, man? And he's been throwing him in here. Says release the Guru Dut Cut Bollywood Father 3.
I'm making an offer they can't refuse.
Oh no!
It's an offer that they can't refuse.
I can't speak the language, but yeah, it's the best I can give you.
It's good.
The dance number and Pull Me Back In, though, was so much better.
Yeah.
I've never wanted to time someone out more on any other show.
Wait, let me type something in the chat just to piss him off.
I think I'm going to pull the battery out of my mouth just so I'm not tempted.
Oh God, I thought he was about to say I'm going to pull the battery out of my ass.
I don't know if you could actually do anything to him since he's a wrench as well, but actually you can, because Six basically dared me once to try and see if you could mute if one person could mute another mod. I don't know if you can as another mod, but I could as the channel owner, but doesn't matter because now you're in as one of the channel runners on the thing, so you could definitely mute him. That's for sure.
No. I love Paulie.
I know we're just picking on him. Bryant wants to know, what was Tom Hagen's original role in The Godfather Part 3? Basically, a lot of what you see George Hamilton do is part of it. I honestly I can't answer that, and I don't even think Francis could, because they tried to make those deals before they really sat down and figured out the movie, more so because I don't think that the movie was well written before they had the cast in place. Because this one was the first time I think they really sat down and did it after the fact, more so. But
I would just
honestly,
tell anybody out there,
knows?
grab that collector's box set now, because when it's gone, like the Ghostbusters box set with the ghost trap and the internal LEDs, and that thing was gorgeous. I'm glad. When this thing is gone, it is flipping gone.
Oh, fuck. I'll go buy it right now then. Hold on.
You still ain't bought it yet?
Oh, shit.
I'm so busy doing taxes.
Well, if you're not really worried about, okay, here's the thing. There isn't the difference between this and the Ghostbuster one, though. This needs to be said. Now,
I have the Ghostbusters.
Now that this just turned into 4K for you, the difference is there's two different versions of it, right? There's the big box set where it's all fancy in a big box, and it has a book and some prints and all that stuff.
Yeah, 3 pictures.
The only difference between that and the other one is that just the swag. Otherwise, the other version is just the discs. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
If
you want the swag, get it now, because when that goes, those are limited.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah.
And then Hillis Mallory says, "Friendly jester, so friendly."
There you go.
Isn't that a sex move?
I don't want to know. How would you?
Only if you're wearing a clown nose.
Richard.
That got Jada Pinkett so hot.
She totally let Will watch that night.
Oh yes.
Oh,
he can watch.
She can,
Will can sit there on the sofa and watch while he bangs her son's friend.
Does everybody know that Culture's like gonna wear a kilt on his live stream? Or
no. I am going to consider. See, that's the word that you're missing there. Okay. Consider doing an OK Groomer take instead of OK Boomer take to for like a meme fun.
Okay, that sounds to me like you're wearing a kilt.
You work for Disney, do you?
That's all. But
do not position the camera as an upshot.
The good news
is
I found the outfit that Culture's going to wear. Who wants to see it?
Oh God!
Yes.
No. Oh, you got it. Let's see.
Release the Culture.
Okay, Groomer. Whatever you say, Groomer. Yes.
Culture's wearing the one on the left.
Which one though? Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's like from the tilted. Oh, that is the tilted kilt. I said that before I even looked down.
Yeah. Culture's wearing the outfit on the left, though.
I missed that restaurant.
Yeah, me too, man. You have one near you? Or you the one in Gonzales?
In New Orleans. In Metairie.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Unless you think of Twin Peaks, though.
No, well, they had Twin Peaks, but they were trying to get a tilted kilt down there too.
Yeah.
Look,
That's what tilted kilt looks like. I'd eat there all the time.
I will accept.
It was nice. Yeah.
Are they not in business anymore?
Not tilted, but not around here. They lost a couple, but Twin Peaks is doing well everywhere except New Orleans. Lost one because it's New Orleans. Well, Metairie.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna find that. I'm finding that outfit. They have it on Amazon. Culture, what size are you?
Fat.
Oh.
I would normally in
whatever the biggest sizes they have, probably get that.
In boy sizes, I'm between medium and large.
Large is a size now.
Yeah, between in men's adult men's size, I am between medium and large.
Large.
Spider-Man. Lords. Spider-Man.
George. Oh, wrong one.
Y'all are making fun of my verbiage.
Yeah, we love making fun of your verbiage.
Well, I mean,
because you say weird things like Spider-Man.
It is Spider-Man.
Wait, what? That sounded so. Wait, what did you?
It's just
say?
he couldn't say it any other way though. If he said it regularly, I'd be like, "Nah, you're just fucking with us."
I mean, at this point, it's just shoving shit in your ears. So
I got breaking news here. We got the first image from the new Snow White remake from Disney. In case anybody was curious about that.
This is what we were joking about today. You know, I'm sorry.
I couldn't help it with this.
I wish WDW Pro was here. This is the exact, like, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in just 5 minutes, Snow White will, oh my God, they use gendered language. This was the shit we were talking about. This is exactly this picture. The stupidity of fucking Disney right now.
Oh, it's insane. VR, it's bananas, dude.
Well, there's another one coming Thursday that's going to be even more bananas.
Oh man, I hope I can get my video out before you do yours. Maybe somebody will watch mine. Jesus.
You remember when jokes like this were just jokes?
Yeah, right.
Exactly. They're not jokes anymore.
Yeah, they just burned down the set of their woke white.
Doug is not wrong because. Look at this situation. I've got over 1,000 likes on this.
Man,
if I just posted this without any context of like the current woke situation, it gets 30, 40 likes tops.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. But anyway, you were saying about burning down what now? Culture?
They burned down the set of the freaking Snow White movie.
Oh yeah, I heard. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whoops.
I'm like, well done. And that's why that chick was able to get her spot to come over and, virtue signal the Oscars away.
Oh, that was her? Yeah. That's
right.
Yeah,
that was the one. Yeah. Like she went on Twitter or social media and bitched like a whore.
Yeah.
That she wasn't invited to the Oscars. Wow. I'm sorry. I'm not pulling any punches. I don't care. I'm
Go for the jugular, my friend.
Yeah, I'm so sick of this bullshit. I mean, when you get out there and it's like this fucking overgrown teenager, loser, worthless piece of trash that goes out there and like, I'm going to get in here because Disney is getting raked across the coals right now, and I'm going to bitch like a whore that I'm not invited to the Oscars, and that this is how weak and pathetic and useless to American society Hollywood is now. Is that they cannot look at this pathetic little child and tell her, I'm sorry, you are beneath us, especially after making little claims like that, especially after calling us out. Traditionally, the parents, the adults would step in this room and chastise this stupid little child.
Right.
For acting like a complete ass. And then punish her for it. Until she learned her damn lesson. Hey, this is adult society. You are a child. Learn your place. Once you earn your place in adult society, you get invited. But no, what did they do? They kowtowed to it.
Well,
that made me lose even more respect for her as an actress. It made me lose even more respect for this crap-ass, shitty Disney remake as a movie because we have to be culturally sensitive and we have to cast someone that historically, canonically, does not fit the mold. And look, I was prepared early on. I'm going to make this very clear. I'm going to make this very, very clear. I was prepared early on to accept this actress as being recast as Snow White, even though that visually she did not fit the historical narrative of who Snow White was.
Right.
I was fine with that because I'm like, okay, I think she's talented. I think she can pull it off. I am willing to give her a chance. Once she crossed this line and turned into an overgrown child, my attitude went to go fuck yourself. I'm sick of this, and I'm sick of Hollywood tolerating this level of trash, and they should be getting punished as adults should punish children for this type of immature behavior, and I'm tired of it. So I won't be going to see this movie. My children will not be going to see this movie. And that's in addition to all the garbage that Disney has shoved down our throats.
Well, I was already
in the last few
boycotting
weeks.
this movie when they decided not to give 7 roles to little people, because you know how much I love little people.
Exactly. That was the other thing, is that Peter Dinklage, as much as I have adored Peter Dinklage's performances over the years, and no doubt he is a very capable and talented actor, but he has burned himself to the ground as being one of the most preeminent retards in Hollywood that I could have ever imagined coming out of that dumpster fire.
He drunk the woke Kool-Aid. That's why.
Oh, exactly.
But
It's
it's the classic example of what they do. I mean, it's like like he thinks he's pumping up the respect and rights of little people and whatnot, and all he did was cost 7 guys jobs.
It's just like everything else, Doug. It's every other area too. Like, look at Ava DuVernay, what she's done so much for fucking diversity in Hollywood, hasn't she? Right? Like, what has she accomplished?
It's like every
It's a
aspect
fake
in the world
job.
of business or anywhere else, be it Hollywood, be it the corporate world, be it a Fortune 500 company, it doesn't matter. Earn your place. Earn your place. Be an adult. Do your work. Earn your place. Work hard. Don't go out there and try to be a Twitter or Twitter or YouTube hero to advance your career in this. It's like, look, you're trying to get a job. You're trying to get a contract. Those of us out here on YouTube, look, we're just out here dicking around having fun, right? It's like this is a full-time job for some people. This is not a full-time job for other people. We're here to comment. But if you're out there working the business, then work your business. Don't be an idiot. Keep your head to the ground, keep your nose to the grindstone, shut your damn mouth, and don't piss off 60 or 70% of your audience because you feel like you have to make some social justice garbage comment that the vast majority of the country makes you think that, or, that you're so out of touch or whatever it is. I don't understand this anymore with Hollywood. Somebody has got to get back in there and drive the business sense. And the only reason I'm bringing this up, maybe to tie it all home, is that, we get this news today that Ann Sarnoff, she's out. Jason Kilar, he's out. Warner Brothers is a dumpster fire. And we know going forward that hopefully, if I'm right, that people like David Zaslav, the adults, are coming home to start running the business again. And maybe we'll actually start getting, in the next 2, 3, 4 years, something that looks more like what Hollywood used to be, where politics aside, they just handed us good movies that appeal to the broadest audiences.
I can say this because we talked about it a little bit before. Sorry, Doug. I just wanted to say about Zaslav. Like, we don't know what he's going to do yet. We don't know. He's never had a company this big to really deal with. But knowing what I know of him personally, from what people have told me and other things, I think you're on the right path with him. I think that he's going to come in and he's going to clean house. And that's kind of what we talked about first, 45 minutes of the show or whatever. But yeah, you were going to say something, Doug. I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's okay. It's just that it takes to this point to where it's a dumpster fire. Yeah, it has to burn down before they write the show, because a lot of that Twitterverse cred and that sort of thing that people have used, it worked for them personally. It got them somewhere, and so people kept going with it. But it just had to run its course, I guess, because the signs of all of this had been there for years, and yet it's just the massive damage done to their brands and their companies and whatnot. Because Warner Brothers had to be sold off and bought by somebody else. That's what happens. And so eventually either it collapses and goes away and dies, or somebody comes in and says, okay, we actually got to make some money here.
Well, I was asked
they're not going to worry about making money if they're going to keep being funded by the states.
And I was actually, thank you for that, Nick. I was going to say, we actually had this conversation on the Tuesday tirade today, before the Midnight's Edge member stream. Somebody asked in the chat, what is more important to CEOs, an ESG score or profit?
Yeah.
And I said, well, you have two different kinds of companies. You have companies that live on hopes and dreams and have really no opportunity to ever earn a profit. Those are going to be the companies focused on this, magical entity ESG thing, which eventually, banks are going to stop giving money to, and so will some of these VCs.
It doesn't mean anything. I can tell you in the financial world, yes, we have, We get emails every day in my inbox. Oh, look, this is the new ESG based fund. And they use this score. And look, most of these ESG funds, so everybody understands, these are big players. I mean, you're talking about when you buy an ESG fund, the top 10 holdings that you have in that fund are fucking Netflix, Apple. I mean, you're talking about the big stuff. You're talking about the FANG stocks. You're talking about everything else. Here's the thing. You're talking about secondary market. A lot of people think if I support ESG, then I'm giving these companies money. No, these stocks are trading in the secondary market. That has nothing to do with giving these companies money per se. However, what Culture is saying is correct, is that there's a lot of these companies out there these days that are focused in on these stupid-ass ESG scores, which mean fucking nothing. They mean nothing to the company itself. There is no financial data. There's no financial metric. There's no cash flows based on ESG. This is a social justice bullshit score. The problem is that until those of us out there, the silent majority, open our mouths and start speaking, the kind of things that Tom and Andre and Midnight's Edge have been talking about for years, the kind of things that Culture has been talking about for years, the kind of things out there like Doomcock and all these other channels, Geeks and Gamers, all these guys that have been talking about for years, until the silent majority decides to wake up and just stop watching the videos by themselves, but has to also add to those watches. They have to add to that as a vocal component. They have to go out on Twitter and Facebook and start sharing these videos, liking these videos, start saying that y'all need to watch this. People out there need to wake up. This whole ESG bullshit is going to be around for a while because that's what they think. They think that Twitter is life. And that's the problem. You see that with Disney right now. You take 0.01% of the company that has taken Disney in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and turned it into a fucking shit show because of a few lunatics in that company. And they have backing. They were put in there by Robert Iger. We're dealing with it now. But until the mass majority out there, the silent majority, actually starts standing up and speaking out loud, it's not going to change, folks. It's not.
You're right. It is not going to change.
Toxic man.
Stop being fearful. That's the thing. A lot of people are fearful. They're always, but I'm going to lose this. I'm going to lose that. So it's like, you keep saying that. Everyone else, your sons, your grandsons, they're going to lose too. So you speak now, or else future generations will suffer even greater than what you're suffering now to begin with. So, it's a do or die situation. Many people don't want it to be because it puts them out of a comfort zone, but they need to grow out of that comfort zone. No one should want to do it, but we're in a position where we have to.
Yeah. But Nick has a show to get to here soon, and we're going to start wrapping some things up here. But Toxic Man Flu says, do better, Valliant Renegade. Well, that's what Valliant
I know. I love that. I thought it was great. Thank you, Toxic Man Flu.
And then,
I get you, bro.
Adam Wolford sent this earlier, and I think we brought it up real quick, but I think we just blew past it. So sorry about that, Adam Wolford. He says, Batman versus Randall Savage. He's immortal.
Randall?
That'd be
Vandal Savage. Vandal Savage. Yeah.
Vandal Savage is immortal.
Randall's his younger brother. He's not as immortal.
No, he's way younger.
And he's a clerk.
Only a couple of thousand years.
And then Hillis Mallory says, my friend was trying to tell me AT&T was buying Discovery ahead of AT&T and selling off Warner Brothers to Discovery. Oh, yeah. If you have an inside track, man. Daniel Hall said, we need to really get that former studio executive as a YouTube who has a YouTube channel on. Do you mean Chado? Because he must not have Twitter because we announced and he retweeted the other day that he is going to be on Friday. So be here, kids, on the Marty show.
Yeah.
We will have Chato. And then Mr. Grant Gregory sends in $2 for some reason and says, VR yelling, bitching like a whore.
That's right.
Made my day.
It is much better than whoring like a bitch.
I'm gonna say this. Like, this is not my normal thing. I just look, the last 3 or 4 weeks, and folks, Tom and I have been talking. We're trying to find times to do 4K for you. March and April for me every year, guys, girls out there watching, is just so hard. Mrs. Renegade,
woe is you. You know what?
I know. I know. Look, it's bad for Mike too. No, Mrs. Renegade runs a music school. We have a lot of performances in the spring, and I'm like, I say that only because to make y'all understand, I'm pretty much living on 4 to 5 hours of sleep average per night for 2 months. So I'm punchy, and so when I get into these conversations, at this point, I'm tearing up. So yeah, exactly. So Tom and I are gonna get back to 4K for you, but I hope this was at least entertaining tonight with me bitching.
Well, it is, and
like a whore,
and bitching like a whore. A great song title.
It is.
I thought it was
exactly.
a band name. Bitching like a whore would be a great
and
band
that bitch
name.
deserves it.
Yeah.
It took me about 20 times to actually get the super chat to actually go through. I had to change it so many times.
God, when she started screaming, for an Oscar ticket, that was it. She went out the window for me. I lost all whatever respect I had for her went out.
No, man. The Cardinals. Go ahead, Culture. Sorry.
No, man. Do you think she bribed somebody on the set to burn that thing down so she'd get the invite?
No, I just think she opened her mouth and said, well, I'm contracted with Disney, and I'm a Latina woman, and that whole Reimagine Tomorrow program from
I know.
From the chief diversity officer on down, probably lobbied them to put her in there, and that was it. There's no longer there is not a merit-based system anymore.
Nope,
there is not. It's all based on what is your skin color, who do you sleep with, and what gender do you identify with, or what multiplicity of genders do you identify with. I don't believe any of these fucking people anymore.
I sleep with anyone who's smoking hot that hits on me, and I'm heterosexual. Wait, were you not asking me specifically, or?
No. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, I'm done.
Bobby Rydell died.
We gotta talk about this anything that hits on you thing, okay? Like that can't be a standard.
I know Tom laughs at my sleep schedule. Nobody has a worse sleep schedule than Tom.
No, Tom
doubt.
wins.
I laugh at
I ain't even trying to challenge that one, y'all. Trust me, D-Bud Martin, I hear you.
But Tom's going to get better this year.
I'm going to try. And then Paulie's got to get me back into doing my workout too. Cardinal Sin has sent us a member chat. He says, what a motley bunch of celebrity YouTubers you have on the panel. Hail to the mods and the chat. All meters everywhere. Always great information. Well, thank you, Cardinal Sin.
Thank you, Cardinal Sin.
And yeah, Culture likes to think he's a star.
He's in the middle.
I'm definitely not wearing a skirt now, jerk.
Well, this one's for you.
Richard! Skadoosh!
Well, then you're refunding my money from Amazon. I don't know if this shit's returnable.
Oh,
man.
probably not. But with that, I think we're going to wrap this up so you guys can head on over to Toxic Tuesday where the boys are going to be talking Porkies. I'm going to try and hop in there. I don't know. I've been beat. I got to eat something first, though, probably.
Tom, you get your rest. If you can't hang, you can't. It's not a big deal.
You always get such a huge crew of guys, though. So I mean, there's not much more I can add to the mix than what a lot of the guys.
Just your toxicity, but if when a man's got to rest,
Tom needs to rest and he needs to eat. Thank you for the invitation.
Yes.
Nah, I might try to pop in though, but we'll see. But no, definitely check it out either way, because you guys always have fun over there talking about the movies you pick, and you do such a great job.
And Porkies is awesome.
Porkies
Yes,
is definitely
it
a
is.
Toxic Tuesday classic waiting to happen.
Well, I guess I'll have to watch it now then.
Yes, you do, Grant.
Well, I've
Oh
never
my
seen it.
god, Mr. Grant Gregory.
I
You guys
mean,
all gave me shit about Spaceballs.
Have you ever seen? Yeah, have you ever seen American Pie, Grant?
I have, yes.
It's a way better American Pie.
This is basically the predecessor to that. Basically, yeah.
Now it's really worrying me. It's called Porkies. What is it? What are they fucking it?
No. Well, Porkies is the name of a bar.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Or actually a
also
whorehouse.
the name of a
And
great
I'm
movie.
going to tell you, there is a shower to die for.
Lord.
Are you saying that to me, knowing the history of my people? Really?
Wow.
Oh Lord! And
This guy got deep.
And with that,
well,
This got deeper than a Disney employee in a kindergarten class. Oh, no, never mind.
Oh! And I got
Whatever
made
you
fun of
say,
about
groomer.
baby.
Wow.
Okay, groomer.
Oh, he's the hairy little fucker.
Oh my.
oh man.
Is he the bear?
Oh my.
Oh god.
No, I said Mikey's a little Ewok. I love him. 'Cause he looks sweet and cuddly on the outside, but be careful.
Oh no.
All right, kids, we're gonna get the hell out of here. What do you say?
Dude, my misery index is a lot higher
check,
than it
check
was.
out Valiant's channel. Check out Grant Gregory's channel. Check out Nick Weiser's channel. Or actually, check it out now because he's going to be doing Toxic
That's
Tuesday
right.
in just a few minutes. We got Culture Casino's channel. Check that out. Doug has a channel as well, but you can
Yeah, he
always see
does.
his art all throughout the channels. We got Klobby. Check out his channel as well, and Mike also has a channel. Check them all out. Do yourself a favor. And with that, I think.
And with that.
Good night, everybody.
I got 5 pieces of candy. I got a chocolate bar. I got a quarter.